Yo, what's going on, people? Back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for another debate show here Friday evening, mashing it up, talking all things Manchester United, man. And there's a lot to talk about, man. There is a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying to you? FA Cup or Champions League football? What will mean more to Ten Hag this season? What will keep his job? What will maybe get him sacked? You know what I mean? If he doesn't get it. Here to explain it all and talk about it all, we got man like Ange from Australia. What are you saying, man? You good?
Big game tomorrow, Saeed. Might be our last meaningful game. Good to be on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. We got man like Kaz in the building, man. What are you telling me, Kaz?
Good man, Jumma Mubarak to all the Akis out there. You know, make I just little get your water, yeah. Lemon, Celtic water. That's the electrolyte. That's all you need, man. Then that means you don't need to go
Come
pee
on.
every 10 minutes, man. Trust me, it's all good. I'm good. Though,
Come on, man. Yeah, man. Big up to you, big up to you. Got a debut on the channel. We got man like this from New York area, America. What are you telling me, man?
Doing good, man. Glad to be here. Glad to make my debut. Some United talk about Ten Hag. Excited.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. And we got Griggs in the building as well, man. What are you saying, man, Griggs?
Doing good. My other football team, Olympiacos, had the historic comeback yesterday, so I'm doing good football-wise. I don't let this United team distract me. I have bigger things to focus on. I have actual European football to focus on. So yeah, but I'm doing good. Make sure you guys smash the like button. You guys know the vibes.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. And we also, what was I going to say to you? You lot are playing Fenerbahce next, which is going to be amazing in that regards, playing against Fred. So that's going to be a tough battle for Olympiacos, man. So we'll see what happens with that one, man. But listen, people asking about Marcel. I don't actually know where Marcel is today, man. I've been trying to get onto him all day. He's missing. I don't know whether he's trying to prepare for the eventuality of what's going to happen. I don't know. You know what I'm saying to you? So if he
He's
comes,
ducking. He's ducking,
if he
bro.
doesn't, yeah, he might be ducking. He might be ducking it today. I don't know.
This
Maybe
is
he
normal.
realizes what's going to happen.
This is normal.
So it is
It's
what.
normal,
Say
no?
that again.
Marcel does this all the trust me. Marcel, you could ring his phone 2, 3, 4 times. You can message him bears. He ain't trust me, that guy's always on his phone as well, yeah. And trust me, I know this shit.
I know
It's a duck situation. You don't wanna
exactly.
you
Nah,
know.
this is poor. Man said Marcel's missing like Malasia. Nah. We can't joke around with it, man. Nah, what's happened to Malasia is crazy, man. But apparently he was at the lunch yesterday. He was at the lunch party yesterday at the
No photos. No
yeah.
photos, Saeed.
No photos, I know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No photos, man.
Doing up his best.
So-
What's her name? The one that's married to Prince William.
Kate
Kate?
Yeah, Kate
Middleton.
Middleton. Do you know his
Yeah, Kate Middleton.
impression, man? Where are you? Where's the pictures at?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Hopefully, Nate G's gonna join us, man. Nate G said he would join us. I sent him the link, so hopefully he will be joining us in a sec. But yeah, man, let's talk all things Man United. Make sure you lot like the video, people. The likes help the channel massively for the algorithm. So if you're doing anything right now, hit the thumbs up button. But this is do or die for Ten Hag, man. You know what I mean? Or is it do or die? That's the question I want to ask everyone. What is more important to Ineos? Champions League football, winning a trophy, or is it? Are we going to get both? Like, I start off with you, Michael. What is it that you think Ten Hag needs this summer? Because we've been in Champions League football and we got knocked out. You know what I mean? Apparently, 5th position is now the aim. Now is what is going to be. You know what my United fans are gassing about now, which is crazy. But where do you think? Where do you see yourself in that regard? Like, what's the situation?
What he needs is probably Champions League football from a financial standpoint. Obviously, it would be more like he's already won the trophy like last year with the Carabao Cup. Obviously, FA Cup is bigger, but I think from like a club board perspective, I think the UCL football would be much more money. Obviously, you get the Champions League revenue. You don't lose the Adidas. I think it's like 30 mil from the Adidas deal. If you don't make Champions League football, all that kind of stuff kind of opens up the budget, stretches it a little bit more, so you have more opportunities in the summer. But for me personally, I'd probably just take the FA Cup, but because like I don't know, this Champions League stuff, like okay, 5th next year, it's like a whole different thing. The new format, it's like a 36 team league. We might finish like 25th in a league of 36 teams. That's gonna kind of look embarrassing. I'm not trying to get embarrassed again sometimes, but I think Ten Hag I don't think there's anything that can really save his job personally for me. But I know Ornstein's coming out with all these reports, but he did the same thing for Ole, and then Ole got sacked later anyway. But I think he probably needs Champions League football just a little bit more. The FA Cup would be nice, but we've seen United managers get sacked after winning the FA Cup before. His Dutch predecessor, Van Gaal. Van Gaal got the FA Cup. He didn't get Champions League football. He got the sack. This is a new ownership group. They need as much money to kind of spend in the summer in a new rebuild. And UCL brings more money than the FA Cup does, even though the trophy looks nicer than the fifth spot. But it's just the UCL means more, technically, right now.
Big up Neji in the building, man. Hope you're well, Neji, man. Fresh. Can see the tan from Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Neji.
I'm looking blick, bro. There's blick and there's block. Block was the next stage if I was there for a week, bro. Big up everyone, man.
Nah, big up, man. Big up to you, man. Ziz, how are you thinking, bro? How do you think the dynamics are? You know what I mean? For just in general, for Ten Hag now, like Champions League. I think for me, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of done low key. I don't see the rest of them having a dramatic fall off. But yeah, Ziz, man, how are you? And obviously, we've not heard your thoughts on Ten Hag and just in general United. What have you been thinking lately, man?
Yeah, so like Michael said, right? Is this like Ineos is in this weird place? They have to figure out how to maneuver like the next era of United. So that means navigating financially, in sporting, and also like keeping the cultural fit. Because you know the Glazers are still there, the fan base is still going to be upset about that. So Ten Hag, I think personally he's going to be leaving anyways. And it's not necessarily all to do with his performance. Obviously, he's been terrible on the pitch. There's been tons of fuck ups all year long, and it continues to happen. But just thinking of the regime, there's a new sporting director, new technical director. We're taking that guy from who was at City, who was at Southampton. And then moving forward, you need your own guy who's going to listen. I think that's why there's been so many links. Even Ornstein was talking about Graham Potter, and then even a Morim or Nagelsmann, whoever comes in. It just makes sense to take your guy in the next era of the club, just for unanimity, just to figure out like a good voice going forward.
Yeah, 100%, man. You know what it is, yeah? For me, yeah, when I look at it, yeah, I think an FA Cup would be good for the fan base, knowing that we won a cup like in a dreadful season. But you know what it's like, man. Money talks, Champions League football talks. You know what I mean? They need it. I think they want it. They want to be on the top dog. You can't be having Man United and then you have it Tottenham, and that's the Villa there, man. You know what I'm saying to you? Like that's for me. It's embarrassing, bro. You get me? Knowing that, you know, Andrew's first season in the job, Unai Emery, I predicted them to finish 8th this season. You know, did I predict finish 8th? And now they're on the cusp of Champions League football, barring that they have an absolute, you know, fall from grace. You know, so I think for me, it's one of them where Ineos, whether they look at Champions League football or not as a barometer of how they've seen this season, I look at them thinking they've got to look surely beyond Champions League football. They've got to look at what they've seen whole season, man, how it's been the whole season. Because the whole season hasn't been great, let's be honest. The whole season hasn't been great. I mean, Ange, talk to us. What are you saying?
And I reckon if he makes the Champions League qualification and wins the FA Cup, they're still going to sack him. I really do. I think their decisions like so. Ornstein's reporting is like, oh, I have no information, and then basically the whole Ten Hag in crowd took that as, oh, Ten Hag's going to stay. You know, like, but basically he said, oh, I've got no information to suggest they're going to sack him. Yeah, he's just saying I've got no information. That's all. Like he didn't say anything new or newsworthy at all. I think they will see how he's working inside the club every day. They'll know what are the relationships he's building inside the club. How is he running his meetings? You know, like say we miraculously make Champions League qualification. What's going to change next year? Are we going to be in the same situation next year where you're falling out with half the players? There's no identity of stuff. Like I think we got to remember this is a guy that went and interviewed for Tottenham. He walked back out. They said he couldn't communicate. Not that his English was, like, obviously he had some English problems, but he wasn't a great... They hired Nuno Espirito, who could barely speak any English. But they didn't hire Ten Hag because he was a bad communicator. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do to save his job, man.
Yeah, I agree on that. I agree on that part, if I don't mind taking over. My
Right
issue
now,
with
everyone. Yeah.
my issue with him is look, Van Gaal finished fifth, got FA Cup, got sacked. So why should I accept fifth and FA Cup and for him not to get sacked? So, but the whole point is that my focus is not about even if Champions League. I want to win a trophy because I'm not allowed. I don't want Liverpool to go further up the cup hold. If we don't get Champions League because we don't deserve it, simple as any of the day. If I could choose one, I'm still choosing FA Cup. I don't care. Trophies mean more to me than a competition that we're not going to win next year. Anyways, let's be real. I think we may do well if we recruited well, but I don't think it's going to be there. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Money wise, I think we're more than good anyways. Especially with the new rulings and stuff about how much you can spend on your own revenues. So let's be real on that part as well. In my opinion, my issue with this guy is the tactics. I don't really. It's that space in the midfield that he likes to leave out so much, and I don't think there's any player in the world or any holding midfielder in the world, not even Rodri, that could do that job because it's too much. And maybe there's like low IQ players in certain positions, but I just don't believe in it. It's as simple as that. So in my view, he's falling out with players left, right, and center. Like as well. So that's just another part. So that's. Last thing we need at Man United is just more problems, more issues, more people with mental health issues. I don't know, this person wants to go out on loan, whatever's happened with Ahmad, whether it's Ramadan or not, not even giving him opportunities. Young players don't even get opportunities when they deserve it. Like Ahmad should be playing over, Anthony for so long, and then he still doesn't get his chance. And I don't understand. He put more in a performance in 20 minutes. So, yeah, he's just I think Adrian said it. He's just boring. He's boring me to death at this point. So I don't really want to see him in the job next year. But it's stranger things have happened. I think every time there's been a new board and a new structure, a new ownership, the manager gets sacked anyways. So it don't matter. That's just my opinion.
Leji, what means more to you, man? This season, if we got Champions League or FA Cup, which one would you take? You can only have one or the other.
I would say Champions League just for the simple fact of the revenue and money because of reinvesting into the club. If you ask me this without the new structure, I'll be saying trophies all day because I think we're a club that can only scrape trophies. But moving into an era where we're seemingly, and I say that loosely, where we're seemingly looking to get a structure that's trying to compete, they're going to need all the firepower they can get. So from a financial standpoint, I think that's the most important as opposed to a trophy this season. Moving into next season, I think that would bode more well for us to utilize that money and have a stronger effort in the season next year, as opposed to winning a little trophy just for argument's sake, just to save face and pride, man. But yeah, that's me, bro.
I agree. I think for so long it's been really emotional, and I get football is about emotions. It's how your relationship to the game, how you feel about the club, but this isn't just like a little rebuild. This isn't like the Chelsea one where they switched over from a good model to a worse model, like with Bowley or whatever. This is ground up. This is pulling everything out the roots and clearing it from the beginning. And if whatever that means, however much Michael said, 30 million for the Adidas deal, anything to build whatever pieces that they need moving forward, because this isn't going to be a 1-2 year thing. This might be 3 to 5 years. And like Arsenal, take a point. It hurts to say, but take a page of the people that suffered for a while and now they're reaping the benefits. That's what we need. We can't have these little 1 year, 2 year fuck ups and then restart all over again for the past decade.
You know what it is though? It just comes down to the fact that, the new manager that they're looking forward to now, they're going to build their own thing. You know what I mean? They're going to build their own kind of empire. I think now what it comes down to is, are they looking for that fresh start, And now, what I mean? Like I said, this season is kind of petering out, man. And you got Liverpool in the way, Sunday, should I say, man. And it all comes down to this, man. This FA Cup, this is basically the season kind of definer, really. Because I don't know. Does anyone believe we're getting top 4 here or top 5? Does anyone still believe there's a chance here?
I think
there's a shot.
Scam our way to 5th. We that's what we do best. Scam on our way. I think Villa. I think Villa drop out. Personally, I don't.
If you look at the run in from Villa and Tottenham, ours is much better. Like easier.
Villa's
Because
got-
Villa are 8 points ahead of us or something. Like it's a lot of points to catch up in like 10
yeah,
games.
but they got the three teams chasing them in chasing the league in Liverpool at their ground, which they'll probably go and beat them at their ground. Let's be real. Arsenal still got to play them. They'll probably go beat them as well. And then obviously Man City business end. That's 9 points. It's the same thing with Tottenham. I think Tottenham also dropped 9. Do I think we gain 9? No. Maybe we gain 5, but it's still progress and scamming our way there until we need to stop scamming our way. We still got to play Arsenal, obviously.
You found the right balance there, to be fair, cuz.
Don't you think, Neji, it's all dependent on that Liverpool game? If we beat Liverpool at Old Trafford on the Premier League and we stop them winning the Prem, oh my God, I'm buzzing already, yeah? As a fan base, I'm already buzzing. I can forgive you, Ten Hag. I'm not even joking. I can think, well, it doesn't mean I don't want you in, obviously, leading us, but I can forgive a lot of stuff. Like, and then I'll be like, all right, maybe we can actually really scam our way into 5th.
We need a smash and grab win, man. I can't lie, because we tried against City. First off, from what I can remember from the game, we were never going to outplay them. If we tried to go toe to toe and play football, we would have got smashed 6-0. So for me personally, in that game, I looked at it and thought, I expect percentages to be low, defended well, hit them on the break. McTominay lost the ball on the counter attack. Garnacho fluffed the lines. Obviously, Rashford had a belter. I don't think we'll play the same against Liverpool, but I can see something similar just to get a smash and grab a 1-0, fluky penalty. At this stage, I'd take anything because like we said, Champions League, money, or even an FA Cup, you need something to bounce for your season, man. And I don't care about performances this year because Saeed will know this and some of you guys as well. I don't believe we've got the capability.
Bro, even I've given up, man. I'm just kind of like, you know what, man? I'm just trying to get to the end of the season. By the way, big up to Nedu, man. Dobby's in the chat for Nedu.
Let's get the results in. Because I can't see us playing a style of football consistently until we get, in my opinion, adequate profiles that allow you to maintain a consistency and at least get not haven't got the talent, but have the players that have a mentality to want to apply their talents consistently, regardless of the emotional switch in the game. For me, when I see that next season, based on a rebuild, then I can sit there and go, okay, I expect it. But right now, like I said on the Mandem talk with you, Saeed, I also want results, man, because there's no way. Results in the trophy or top 5, whatever it is, that's the best we can do at this stage, I think, personally.
Should as a fan base, you lot, let me, if you don't mind me asking, should we be surprised and complain about the style of play anymore? Like, really, like we go into games and it's like, oh my God, the style of play is awful and we can't help it, but should we even be surprised by that?
I think it should be brushed away, though. It shouldn't be brushed aside. But like I said to you, should you expect a style of play now? Maybe. No. You know what I mean? I think you should. But right now, I ain't getting it, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them where my thing is that people are using injuries too much as a way of saying that there shouldn't be any style of play when I haven't seen it with injuries or no injuries. Like, I'll be real with you, man. I haven't seen it inconsistently, basically, as well. So
that City game, that City game was awful. Like, we just sat in our own box the whole time.
Yeah, but that's what you meant to do, Ange. Like, why would you think that you can go toe to toe with City, knowing that you've got knowing you've got the whole fan base who have noticeably been seeing that we've been struggling to play style of football. Why would you go against a City that can play comfortably and get your ass handed to you 4-5-0 just to have the same result at the end where the fans are screaming down your neck? You've got to be smart at some point and go, you know what? I can't win the battle that they're playing. I can't play my style and go, I'm going to win it that way. That's dumb. You've got to go, let me find another angle to win this. Maybe I can't play to my strengths, but I can try and nullify them and try and get...
No, I hear that.
Because I guarantee you now, if we'd have beat City, no one would have sat there and said, style of play. You would have been more gassed at the result than the style of football. That's a fact.
But my point is, we were never going to win that. Like, when you give City that much time and room on the ball and you're camped, like if you set up a mid-block, like you don't have to set up a high block where we're leaving all this space in behind. I get that. We've been playing all season. But we could set up a mid-block where we pressure them, come out here and there. This was like, we didn't have... Anybody could put a team out like that. We just go sit in your own box. It's not even in your own half. It's in your own box, and you just give them time all day to play. Honestly, that was a disgraceful setup.
Bro, if you watch that game, De Bruyne got nullified because he couldn't make a pass. No one to have that conversation. Holland looked scared. Their goal that they scored, their opening goal, was an absolute beauty. Yes, it was. However, there's the argument. Obviously, Kyle Walker tripping up my man 1-0 up. We scored a banger. We could have had that was a game set up for smash and grab, and they played it perfectly. In that first half, you saw flipping McTominay get released over the top. They were vulnerable at the back. City are always vulnerable. We did it 4 or 5 times, and again, the quality in the final third has been shit all season. Excuse my language. It's been absolutely dead. So for me, I'm looking at it going, where were the moments where we could have capitalized and won? And I've said the same thing the whole season. No matter how we play football, we've done enough to get in the final third, and our front three or attacking players are not clinical enough either in creating chances or putting the ball away. We mess it up one way or another. So no matter what's happening, we're not capitalizing on chances. That's just me personally. So I'm looking at City going,
no, that's
we're not
true.
going to outplay them. Johnny Evans was balling out, by the way, like nullifying madnesses. We were frustrated. I'll be honest, we were frustrating City until they scored their goal. When they scored that, that's when, again, the mentality for me was like, raw. You haven't got to. When they scored once, we're going to score again. It was game over. But up until then, we did enough.
The thing is, though, the only thing that I had my problem was the way we kind of camped in. Yeah, I think other teams would have camped in a little bit more high up the pitch to allow themselves to maybe counter-attack and do more in the second half. That was my biggest kind of like gripe over Ten Hag.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I feel like for me, you've got to push up a little bit more. We're better than Luton and all these players, these teams. Yeah, when reality is they've done more damage to certain teams than we've done.
One thing we're missing is we're not a team that can apply their talents. Like people talk about.
That's why the manager comes in and identifies that.
No, I'll be real with you. People talk about you've got players on the pitch, this, and this. And this is what I've been saying for the past. No matter what manager, second season in, you get this mindset where key players don't apply themselves consistently. Is the key word. They'll have moments. So if you've got disjointed players in your team, whether their talent says they're good enough or not, if they can't apply that talent consistently because they feel
wait there.
Wait, I got a question.
Messed up. If the manager's messed up, or I'm not having a good game, or whatever the reason is, there should be a level of professionalism at Manchester United where you go and say, you know what, I will go and perform. And we've had examples, Saeed. Let's not get it twisted, where it takes us to concede for these players to then say, oh well, we can play Ten Hag football. So it's not even a case that these guys are.
Isn't that Ten Hag's fault though? Is it the mentality that they show on the pitch? It's on Ten Hag more even. It's his job to get the players ready, fired up.
But I would argue we've had better managers at this club who struggle with the same thing. And I would also argue over the space of 10 years that we've developed a culture with these players because they are football assets, not players. So they know they will outlast managers. They know they can down tool and still last in a job because of the commercial asset of how we run our club. We haven't got people saying you've got 2 seasons to make it happen, like Barrera's talking about, or you're gone, regardless if you're wearing number 10 and you're from Manchester or not. So we have a culture of these players where they can down tool and get away with it. We've seen it with better managers. So I'm not sitting here going to stand here and put that to one side as if that's not a genuine value factor as to the reason why we're seeing low performances. Saeed will know. I've said many times Ten Hag's messed up. There's receipts for it. I've got no issue saying that. Do you know what I mean? It's not a defense of Ten Hag because I rate Ten Hag in other aspects. I will debate whatever I feel is debatable, and I'll sit there and go, Ten Hag needs a slap on the wrist or in the face. It is what it is. But right now, I'm seeing consistent patterns with these same players that throwing better managers than Ten Hag under the bus around the same time when things start hitting the fan or they're not getting their own way. And for me,
I don't think it's the right way of framing it. Like,
I think you've done that perfectly, personally.
Here's my thing, right? So this talk about style of play, I don't know where this started. Maybe it was Kara or Monday Night Football, or I don't know where it happened. But people talk about like the individual play mentality, how Rashford or how Garnacho or how Bruno is showing up for the club. But there is a style of play. Ten Hag does have a style of play. And unfortunately, it opens up individual play. So let me explain what I mean. Our entire patterns in possession are either, like, if you do not have Lisandro Martinez, hit it to the midfield, play long, win for second balls, try to play through one side of the pitch, switch it over to the far side winger. Every single time. And what is the final action? It's a 1v1 with a fullback or a 1v2 with no overlap coming. That's what Rashford's had to deal with all season. These situations last year worked far, far more often because we had Bruno, we had Rashford overperforming in such crazy individual levels. You see Rashford's like XG overperformance, how well he was playing, how much he was shooting. That is saving Ten Hag's style. Because when you don't have Lisandro Martinez to help you build up, to help you get a hold in games, to help control the match, then of course you're going to have this ping pong back and forth. And the weaknesses in the press open up so much more often. That midfield gap you were talking about, that happens because the players aren't taking advantage as often on the transition. Teams are not as compact against us. We can't be as compact against them. And Ten Hag's style opens it, creates this vulnerability because it's built on individual levels. And now that individual level is lower, it's not overperforming, we're shit.
All right, let me rebuttal that then. When Lisandro had a couple run of games and we played Aston Villa, did we get pinned back? Yes or no?
Yeah, and I'm saying that's his fault for the construction of the midfield. I'm not defending him.
I was going to say, but he leaves that one in the midfield and he wants 4 up. He doesn't know if he wants to invert the low or make him overlap. He can't decide. Honestly, he cannot decide which one he wants. So there's no one helping Casemiro, making Casemiro do a job he can't do. I can't stand it. Every time I watch it, I just know it's going to flop. Because as soon as
you're right. What I'm saying is, the inconsistency is because Ten Hag's system is built on individual performance. When you build something on individual performance with players that don't have crazy technical levels like City, that don't have really good mental qualities like Liverpool, of course it's gonna like crumble, and that's what we're seeing this season.
And is that bad though? Is that bad though? Is that
it is bad? It is bad. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm Ten Hag out. It's not because of the performances, even though they've been shit. It's more like. You guys seen on Twitter like how people are saying give Ten Hag time, Arteta got time, see what he built.
I hate that narrative.
I think it's bullshit.
It's not the only thing.
One of them was down here. One of them was down here. Man, like AG.
Who had that belief?
One second, Ange. Since January, Erik Ten Hag has 11
games played.
11 games,
8 wins. 11 games, 8 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses out of scoring ups 24-13. Why sack him? Style of play. Well, he said he still needs all his players back. Let's judge him on that.
No chance.
Listen to me.
Well, that's Marcel's burner, man.
You're never ever gonna get. I also think you should judge someone when they don't have their tools as well. You know, as much
exactly.
As someone has all their tools, you should judge someone on how do you craft without your tools. And he is shown to be one of the most incompetent managers, without his tools. He has shown it. Basic principles, you can't see what his team possesses. Whereas other managers, you know what? You can say to himself, you know what? Fair play. Ange came to Tottenham without 5 of his starters. And to be fair, bossed the second half. First half was 50-50. Second half, they bossed us. And you're like, you know what? They came off the pitch saying, wow, well done. As so many Tottenham fans said, you know what? Big up, Ange, man. We got away with there. Should have won the game. But you know what? Big up to you. You know what I mean?
Someone in chat said, man does not have a philosophy. I disagree. He has a philosophy, but it's the second part that's important. A sustainable style of play. Without Lisandro Martinez, you see how we play in possession? We have no build-up. He is Ten Hag's crutch. And I don't like managers that need one player to rock their entire philosophy. There are certain principles that no matter what you stick to, which is why with Arteta for years, you can justify poor performance when you're trying to build out from the back, when you're trying to like cultivate these systems, like make players learn how to build up. There's going to be mistakes. Look at Brighton this season. They lost McAllister. They lost Caicedo. They're still 7th in the league with a shit squad. They're massively overperforming. And that's because De Zerbi...
Don't disrespect Brighton like that. Don't do that. You ain't got the nose to say that about Brighton, man. You can't say that.
He's calling Chelsea Brighton, basically.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's true, though. The squad is depleted.
This will laugh, yeah. This is what I always said to you, Saeed, about because you know a deep structure 24/7. If you go and look at go do your homework on it. Go watch Brighton and how they've built their club, what they've set their foundations, what their structures are.
No. I agree with that. I agree with that. What I'm saying is that
no. Hold up. The main point.
I'm going
to make to you is this is not 2000 to the year 2000 when my era football, where individuals on the pitch should be better than a system nowadays. These teams are more privy to the modern day game. Therefore, they don't need the quality or the big names to be able to play a style of football. They have a consistency. And when everyone was talking about Graham Potter leaving, Brighton going to go down this, Caicedo, this. I sat there, I said, do these men even know what Brighton have built? They've only just been privy to it because of Potter. Wait there. They were saying, Potter's the main reason about Brighton. I said, listen, don't worry about them. They'll replace the manager, and I guarantee they'll still ball out and play ball. There's nothing's changed. Now all of a sudden, Potter ain't got a job, and Caicedo's at Chelsea on mad wages doing shit. It's not about manager players all the time. If your structure is perfect, you can replace, in this day and age, modern football. I'm not talking back a day where you played on shit pitches and you needed quality to adapt the game. We're talking in an era where science is at the highest, where you're more robotic when you play football now, so you've got more opportunity to be great even if you're an average baller. Brighton are impeccable.
Okay, I agree. I agree the Brighton system is there. We obviously that's a given, right? But what you're missing, what you're ignoring, is that Potter and De Zerbi are two managers with unnerving principles and unchanging basics. When you don't shift your essential core of your team that often, but like building out from the back, trying to use using diagonal runs in behind, trying to create space for your front two to exploit it. There are certain things that this Brighton sticks to no matter what. And under De Zerbi, we've seen with a far, far worse squad, they're going to fail. They're going to.
It's disrespectful to say it's a worse squad in 20.
It is. No. Brighton's system. It is so dependent on the quality of the pivot. Obviously, Pascal Gross is a phenomenal player, but losing McAllister, losing Caicedo with that amount of ball winning, with that amount of tenacity, physicality in the midfield, no wonder they're conceding so much more.
I think you're both kind of like agreeing with each other, but not really understanding one another.
We're looking for basically.
No. But what I'm saying is the manager and the system that your entire thing is built off of is a huge part of keeping that. If you sell a couple players, you'll still have that base level. Right now, what Ten Hag is doing is creating that without the core principles first.
Broski, you can't do this. This is why I keep saying Manchester United is an anomaly. No club has run like ours. In order to build those principles, what you're talking about, you have to have a structure to build it off. No manager with better quality. I'm saying better than Ten Hag. You know, I'm not saying worse than Ten Hag. Better than Ten Hag. Big CVs. Better than Ten Hag. So I'm saying, I would take Jose back if he was in his prime. I'm saying better CVs. These are still failing because in order to be successful at a level, especially 2024, you need the structure to be able to work around. You're limited no matter what manager comes. No matter what manager comes in here, you are limited. Now you're expecting at Manchester United for any manager, including Ten Hag and previous, to be able to build something that is absolutely broken internally. You're trying to expect like you're going to redo things and undo things and expect there to be no issues, no delays, nothing, because it has to be X, Y, Z.
Okay,
you have to go backwards to go forward when you're on a situation in Man United. And this, I'll keep it 100. The difficulty is Manchester United fans are struggling to stand in the fire, and that's cool. But there are some with more tolerance than others. And I'm not saying what you should and shouldn't tolerate. I'm just saying the emotion that's attached to it is because some people are struggling to understand that this first major dip was necessary and was going to happen no matter what. It's how we're dealing with it as a fan base. Me personally, I'm okay with it. A lot of yous are like, no, get rid of him. Cool, that's fine. But don't have mad expectations when there's the reality of a situation. Don't do that. Listen.
I think what he's trying to say is that, like, De Zerbi and Potter, for example, they have certain principles that no matter who is in the squad, they stick with. That has nothing to do with structure.
And that's why we've been.
No, he doesn't, because Ten Hag, when Lisandro Martinez leaves out, he doesn't build out the back the same way.
One at a time. I can't hear because I'm actually trying to listen. Sorry.
When Lisandro Martinez leaves the squad, for example, we don't build out the back the same way. We abandon that. We go long more because he doesn't have his left-footed center back that he wants to do the passing. What Zimspom's trying to say is whether Lewis Dunk is a center back, whether Webster, whoever the hell they have a center back, because I don't even know the squad. Van Hag, all these guys, no matter who it is, they're gonna build out the same way, no matter who's that center back.
No, listen, Michael. Naji. I agree with you. Let me just clarify one point. What I'm saying, right, is if you're going to trust Ten Hag to get into a structure, I agree with your points about how important that system is around him. But the thing is, even at Ajax, this is where you have to use past knowledge to kind of give him that trust moving forward. Hey, we'll give you the keys. Even at Ajax, he was very rotational. He was very pragmatic in the way where he would adapt game by game depending on his opposition.
I would disagree.
Year by year, there are massive differences between his Ajax teams. The team that had Antony in it versus the team that played 2019 versus Real Madrid. Of course, there's core things that he stuck to, like the intensity, the man-to-man press. But when you're going into the next era where United, the sporting directors are going to decide this style of play, where they're going to recruit in a certain way, I don't think Ten Hag has shown you, because this is the whole idea. Managers like Ancelotti, managers like Ten Hag rely on really high mental and technical qualities from their players because there's a lot of assignment on individual ability. Hey, you take the reins of the game. You play, you decide how to, obviously there's some patterns, but as opposed to Pep or Nagelsmann or Xabi Alonso or Arteta, it's much more coached in. It's much more rigid in their structure. So those patterns, especially with a lower level squad, with a lower level talent, they will still be shown and there will be more consistency as you build up to a high ceiling.
He already came out, by the way, clarification, Ten Hag came out about his philosophy. He said when it comes to the final third, he needs players to work out what they need to do and they rely on their own high IQ. That's actually what he said, by the way.
Yeah, same as Tuchel. When your job,
I don't mind that. Because Guardiola said that as well.
Your job is to get them into the final third. If you're in cut areas, and this is why I spoke about having clinical finishers over changing the damn goalkeeper, because I was looking at these finishers thinking 54 goals in the season is bullshit to me. Made no sense, and you created enough chances, but that's going away from the main topic. Z, your whole point is about talent. I differentiate the difference between talent and profiles. I believe in this day and age, you can have less talented players, but a more perfect profile that would allow you to make you look better than what you are. And I think we've got honest examples where I look at Raheem Sterling. I said the same a long way back, I think, with Terry.
Looking like Caicedo right now.
And I said, I don't rate Sterling. And it's not that I don't rate him overall, but I don't rate him to the highs. I don't think he's world class because natural ability, I don't think he's got it. But I've seen him in a consistent system where he's now learned patterns of behavior, how to play, and it's aided him. He's had that one golden season for England, amazing, cool, wicked. But to my point, you see players that aren't necessarily as talented as what they seem because the system and the profiles that they're having and the coaching makes them look better. When Jordan Henderson went to Liverpool, he is talent-wise a Lee Cattermole, in my opinion, from my era. And that's no disrespect to Lee Cattermole from Sunderland. Absolute average baller, but did his thing. But when he went to Liverpool, all of a sudden, he's this world-class player. And you have to understand why that's happening in 2024.
I understand what you're saying about profiles, but the thing is...
I'm looking at the profiles you're talking about at Man United. Yes, Martinez. Every team needs individuals. It is what it is. But you're looking at Martinez, and then we play Luke Shaw left back. He's at left centre back. He's the only profile we've got. Now, if you're rebuilding and you're trying to get rid, you've got a style of football, and you've got is it over 62 signings or something in the space of under 5 managers? Something stupid. And you're trying to say, I need this player to play this style of football.
What's your point, though? What's your point?
My last point.
Yeah, 100%.
I dislike Harry Maguire. It's well known, right? But it's fair to say, even me, he's been one of our best centre-backs this season. Even when he's in form, because of his profile and the way he plays out to the back, because he's slow, because he takes an extra second, an extra touch, we then lose that shape and pattern of what you want to do anyway, but he's still been playing well. So there you've got a player who's playing well, but he's not the right profile.
What profiles are you referring to? You want like a ball-playing center back, technical, like which exact profiles do you think United is missing that is going to elevate Ten Hag's model? Because I know what I think there are.
Me personally, and again, I'll keep it absolutely 1,000. I think you need 2 of the 6s of that he wants in a Kobe and that he wants in a Frankie de Jong. You need 2 at that at least minimum. And if you saw what I'll be honest, if you saw what Calvin Phillips did at Leeds, that 6 role was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a Bielsa system. Don't talk to me about Ten Hag 6 when you go and watch what Calvin Phillips had to do with Bielsa.
He's trying to do with Casemiro.
He's trying to do that with exactly.
That's why
he's trying to do that with Casemiro.
How are you doing that job? But that's a different story.
That's your manager, though. That's your manager. Do it with Casemiro.
Which profile, though? Which one are you specifically referring to?
Me personally, again, I think the centre backs is massive as well. Obviously, left back, we know this season been short playing Lindelof and that.
I don't think our defense is a problem, though. I don't think our defense is a problem.
No. It's offensive, but we start build up from the back. That's what he wants to do.
Man, Ten Hag's killed us. Like, let's get one thing straight. He's killed. His decision making is top notch garbage. Yeah, it's top notch garbage, bro. Like this season, left back, he goes and puts out Alvaro Fernandez, falling out of Jadon Sancho in a time where we needed a player as well. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different decisions. I don't even want to go through all of them because I think a lot of managers make mistakes, but he just continues to make mistake after mistake. It's like that Dutch, you know the way Dutch people are typically as well. They're very open and honest, and they don't care. I feel like he's brought over here and not
stubborn.
Really
they're very stubborn.
He's not really adapted. Trust me, I know all about it. Like as well. So I just feel like I just feel like it's man management and everything. I don't think it just don't suit us, man. Let's just get one thing straight. If you want
He
him on-
wanted
yeah,
he wanted Amrabat. Why did you sign Amrabat? Well, where are you going to play him?
Bro.
How are you going to use him? Tell me.
I wanted Amrabat, but you know what? I don't judge Amrabat because the guy can't even get a run damn games. Not even 3, 4, 5 in a row that actually prove
So
himself.
why isn't Ten Hag using
Played out
him?
the game 'cause the
Why isn't
coach-
Ten Hag?
Man, forget
Brother,
Kobe
it's
Manu
a
was
fan.
injured. We needed that 6, so we brought in my man.
He doesn't
Kobe
even
then-
use him.
He played him at left back, and then
even
whatever
use
happened
this
after
guy.
that.
Anyway, it's not the point.
Casemiro,
It's just,
McTominay was in form. It is what it is.
You know,
I agree with one of your
Amrabat's
points.
garbage, though.
I agree with one of your points, by the way, Neji. Like, I don't think mentality is installed by a manager. It's by the club itself. The club installs the mentality, and it drips down. And the manager is obviously the one to, you know,
In the middle.
probably put that to show and see what he can do in it and manage that. mentality.
One thing you can't do, Kaz, and this applies to any sport. I even say that myself. You cannot coach heart. You cannot coach work rate. You can only develop an environment that
Nah, I don't play
that
anybody. Yeah.
allows that. And when shit hits the fan, you need to see professionals being able to do that. Unfortunately, our professionals, our leaders, we haven't got enough of them. And their reason for it being able to down tools because they know their job is safe no matter what. They're getting mad contracts, mad money. They're not going to get sold because the club won't sell them for whether it's a simple fact of we're not selling you because you're an asset or we're not selling you because we can't get value back for you. That's
Do you see that's the problem though? That's the problem. If you're the inherent blame on individuals becomes so much bigger of an issue when you build a system that is individual based, that is individual performance first.
Every system in this is individual based. What are
No,
you
no,
on
no,
about?
Obviously talent is the biggest floor to like see how good a team will be, right? But again, like I said, there's certain managers that are much more rigid, much more structure focused, like Pep, like Nagelsmann, like Arteta, that with a lower level of squad, with a lower quality, like Ancelotti. What do you think happened when he came to Everton, for example?
Pep in a lower level squad. Are you kidding me right now? Have you seen his career?
No. That's not the point. It's
It's
about the
squad.
Educate
no,
me.
it's
I'm losing
about the coaching of patterns. It's about why do you think Doku, who was one of the most exciting, like flashy 1v1 dribblers in the world, who got so much license to do whatever, Grealish, who was dribbling all over the pitch, who could do literally whatever he want, why do you think Pep clipped his wings? Why do you think they've turned into essentially cogs of a system?
they're
That is what Pep is. That is what Arteta is. That is what. But the thing, what I'm trying to say,
I wouldn't say Arteta too much. I think he allows a bit of freedom in his
Yeah,
front.
it's
man.
still all under like a general framework of like.
saying that Pep, the way Pep moves, yeah, because you're giving the best example, which is
Wait, let me explain my point though. Like I gotta let me land.
Let him land. I was gonna say let him land this point.
My bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, when we as United fans put so much blame on the individual, but if you take a manager in Ten Hag that inherently, like, why do you think that Ajax team was so successful? Every single player. I have it up. I have the tab up here of the Ajax lineup: Ziyech, Tadic, Neres, Van de Beek, De Jong, Schoen, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Blind, and Tagliafico. These are the vast majority of these players have incredible mental levels, really technical. It's going to take a long time for United to build that, either through recruitment, getting people out.
Just quickly, that Ajax team, yeah, was an anomaly in any situation. That team that he inherited was pretty much like an Ajax version, was the same for Fergie 92, where he had these golfer youths who were technically gifted to a mad level, to the point where he could play Tadic as a winger.
I know. But what I'm saying is, you need that technical level if Ten Hag needs to be successful. I don't think Ten Hag's a bad coach. Let me
Was
just
that
say
a great technical team with great mentality though?
No one said, and I even said this way before it even became something stupid. Why do people think he's trying to play Ajax football? It made no sense to me. If you've got Ajax as a structure, Ajax Football Club, they've identified the manager they want around their style of football, of what they want. He's only put his principles in there. Man United don't have that.
No, you're not hearing me. What I'm trying to talk about is,
bro. You have to let someone finish.
let me establish my point, brother. Come on,
bro. Leji, you can't be doing this, bro.
Let me establish my point.
Let him land this point.
Can we have some
And then-
clarification, by the way? I'm lost in what points you're trying to land.
No, so I don't know what the point is.
Like, Mike, I
No,
can't
no,
lie.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that
you
we
have
need
to
a
finish
different
that.
type of manager than Ten Hag to build into a successful United. So, hear what I'm trying to say. a manager with the same philosophy, with the same style that is very like very more structure based within Arteta is something that will allow you to play at a higher level with worse talent. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can have, let's say each player is like a 6 out of 10, right? So within Arteta, that 6 out of 10, he can raise that level to maybe a 7, an 8 out of 10. Whereas let me finish.
In the space of 5 years, the fact that he's won absolutely nothing with this massive rebuild. So he's
that's what I'm talking about, man. Let me finish.
Yeah, but we're talking about Man United.
Brother.
Correct here. We're talking about Man United. You're talking about saying
I'm not talking about what they've won. I'm not talking about.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll be quiet. You're saying we have got average. We should have a manager who can work with average players and make them better.
No. Okay, so there's two different things I'm talking about.
That's not what he's trying to say.
Okay, think of it as two things, right? There's a floor that's your base level, and there's the ceiling. Ten Hag has a high ceiling. If you give him really technical players, really quality players, like an Ancelotti, he can make them work at a really high level. But our base level right now is pretty low. So when you have more of an enforcer type manager, like a Pep Guardiola or like a Nagelsmann that has so many rigid coached patterns, even if the squad quality is a 5 out of 10, even if the squad quality is a 7 out of 10, even if the squad quality is an 8 out of 10, the base level will be higher. So we will have more consistent performance, and his ceiling as a manager is pretty high as well. So as we recruit more, as we get more world-class players, he will still have the tools and the system to compete with the best in the world.
And the reason I would disagree with that,
I like you, you know. First time meeting,
because you mentioned Pep, yeah, the goalkeeper situation already from 1. Do you know how many? My man went with Joe Hart and said, "Nah, I don't want you. Want Bravo next season?" Got rid of him. A structure allows you to get rid of players that you make mistakes on and get rid of. My man bought Ake for 50-odd million or whatever. My man put Foden in the team, then took him out for God knows, and all of a sudden makes a return. He's brought hella players on big money, you know, that no one's talking about. They've never made the squad. And this is whilst he's rebuilding. So every manager who wants any individual profile or talent, whichever one you want to go with, great profile, not great talent, but maybe both, it doesn't matter. If you're rebuilding and you're one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the, then you should be having the best in class in what you want to do. Or what the club wants to do. You should also be able to get rid of players that you've made mistakes on, because you're trying to speed up the process of getting it right.
I don't disagree, but are you Ten Hag in? That's what
don't do that.
Oh, he is Ten Hag.
He is.
Okay, so no. My question is then, what has Ten Hag shown you that has given you the confidence that even with mediocre players, because we're not going to recruit 11 world-class players this window or next window or the window after that. It's going to take time. So what confidence has he given you that even with a lower level of squad, with low technical levels, with mediocre mental ability, he can bring them to that level?
Well, me personally, and I'll continue to say this, I've done enough research to see what Ten Hag wants to do style of football. There are some people who say they don't know what they're seeing. That's on, in my opinion, that's on them. It's quite evident to me. Yes, there you go. It's not the man them talking, though. You can't style this one outside.
No, but at the same time,
tell the people about the rose petals, you know.
You know what's crazy?
Sorry, go on.
I just want to make one quick point. You know what's crazy? The other thing that you two haven't spoken about is when I watch this team play, there's a clear lack of belief in what Ten Hag is asking him to do. Like I don't think
which is repeated for six, 7 seasons. And I keep telling man.
I don't know how you're denying this. We have like 10 years, you know. Under Ole, let me just finish this point and you can jump in. So you can disagree with it. I'm more than happy for you to disagree with it and tell me why. I'm more than happy for you to tell me why I'm wrong. But just let me. So under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they believed in what he was trying to do. We can say that the style wasn't great, that we were counter-attacking for up until the last season. And it was interesting in his interview that he did on the overlap. He felt the pressure to start to play more attacking football. He was actually, he had a style that he believed in. And then as soon as he felt the pressure from players from the outside, I signed Sancho, I signed Varane, now I have to play more attacking football. That's when he got into trouble. But what he believed in was to have Fred and McTominay in those two pivot positions, and then we would play counter-attacking football. When we were doing that, players believed in what he was doing. It doesn't mean it wasn't going to take us to the top, but they believed. And watching the team under Ten Hag, there's a clear lack of belief. I don't think he connects with the players. So you can have the greatest tactics in the world. You can have the greatest tactics in the world.
My man going 5 at the back and saying counter-attacking football because we got defensively ripped to new Batio, and then the next game, I think it was Champions League, Young Boys or whatever it was, man went 5 at the back.
So in his last season, are you talking about in his last season? Are you talking about in his last? Are you talking about in his last season? In his last season? Yes.
His last season. So
it was already done by then. When we signed Ronaldo.
I'm just saying to you, if something keeps repeating itself, and you keep changing all the other things, but the same result keeps happening, it means you're not hitting the nail on the head, rude boy. There's got to be something else.
So this is the point. This is the point you're missing.
Wait.
If you compare,
I'm not saying it's the only factor. Don't get it twisted of what I'm saying. But there is a bigger contribution. You're all jumping on
almost. So this is the point you're missing. Almost 70%. Almost 70% of the squad is different to when Mourinho was around.
Thank you. I was going to say that. Thank you. I'm glad.
So the idea that a lot of fans have said these are the same players as Van Gaal, Mourinho. No, it's actually changed.
You spoke about belief. That is a mindset thing. Did I not talk about mindset? I'm saying there is a culture in this club.
But who helps change the mindset? Who helps change the mindset?
Saeed, you gotta meditate this more, mediate this more, bro.
You cannot put a defined mindset into players that have a...
Leji, everyone chill. Gotta mute everyone. Listen, when we're having a debate, please let the guy land this point, then you respond there. Don't cut in. There's no point, man. We're here for a long time, not a good time, yeah? Everyone land your point, then let the other man go. The simple as that, yeah? There's no point speaking of trouble. The mic,
my bad. Go for it.
No, but I get it, yeah, but just let everyone land their point. We're here, bro. Nobody's going anywhere. Everyone land their point, and then after that, let others speak as well. So we don't want to be hogging the mic as well, yeah? So everyone just have their point, yeah? So I'm going to let Ange finish his point, and then when we hear this full point,
I got you.
Then we go on to it. Yeah?
Man. Go on, Ange, do you think?
Okay, cool. All right, Ange, you go ahead, make your point.
You're on mute.
He's muted.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, go for it.
So this squad's changed a lot in the last 5 years. Yeah, like I think there's Rashford, Bruno, and a few others there's been significant change. The thing is, it's up to the coach to get the players to believe in his ideas, and that is a big problem. There was a report maybe a couple of months ago where they talked about his meetings, and they're so repetitive, they're boring. If you can't get people to believe in your ideas, then there's no point in having great ideas. And I think that's the number one thing. And you watch their attitudes will improve. If you get a manager look what Postecoglou, the team last year, the Tottenham team played boring football. They weren't pressing. When he came in and got them to believe in his idea, that's the number one thing he talks about. They need to believe. That's why he doesn't change too much. He goes, it's all about believing in my idea. Once he did that, you see them run like dogs. I look at that Liverpool squad that played City last week. Do you look at it and go, all these world-class players? Do you look at Endo and Szoboszlai and McAllister and think they have all these world? No, but they believe in what Klopp's selling them. They train at an intensity and at a level that allows them to perform like that. That is the number one thing. I'm not saying these players are world beaters, but if you get a manager that has good ideas, but number one has to get people to believe in his ideas, then you'll see significant change with the squad. And until then, we're going to be giving excuses for Ten Hag, man.
Okay. Could I add a point to Ange before Naji responds?
So again, we see every single time, on average, managers, no matter even better than Ten Hag, like that's a seed that needs to put in here, better than Ten Hag, go through the same cycle. The first manager comes in, new season, everyone's all gassed and high because it's easy to believe when things are new. You got a shiny new toy. When shit hits the fan, though, then you see the same mindset applying regardless of whether Oli, regardless of whether Jose, regardless of Van Gaal. It does not matter. So if those things aren't changing and the mindset isn't changing with better man managers, but the results are still happening, there has to be questions elsewhere where you're probably not looking. And all I'm saying is another perspective is that for me personally, looking at Manchester United, how we're run as a club, it's very difficult if the people organising the environment that you're working in have set it up so that you're on mad money, where you don't have to earn it too tough. You're never getting dropped because you're an asset to the club, because football doesn't come first. What makes you think that someone's going to knuckle down and work hard when they know they can throw a manager under the bus? If you're going to consistently throw managers under the bus and there is a culture attached to it, so even if they bring new players in, they're going to adapt to that new culture subconsciously and consciously because they're a part of it. Excuse the French, the chewing gum came out. Sorry. So you have to understand how that works. I work in that field. I know if your environment is going to breed that, then you're going to do it. It's like it's like when they say to you, yeah, if you've got rotten fruit and you're fresh fruit, and then you put it in the cupboard next to it, what happens to that fresh fruit? Starts to rot. Then it's going to.
What's your solution?
So I'm saying to you, until that's cut off,
4 years.
until that stops. No, you're being rude, bro. You're mad. You're mad. Listen,
Wait. Can I contextualize? Like, add one thing here.
Then let
I
Chris
might
answer.
say this to Shane, but I might miss your voice, mate.
On another angle, on another perspective, right? There is something else that is contributing massively to the reason why you guys are so upset, and me. And it's being missed every single time because it's easy to go surface and go manage your players. I'm just sitting here going, when you put a structure in place, the manager and the players can get it. So everyone wins. And if the managers get it, cool. If the players get it, even better. But these players have proven over a longer period of time to down tool for every single manager when shit hits the fan. That cannot be ignored.
Okay.
It's repeating the same thing.
See, are you adding a
Okay,
solution?
what we're gonna do is this.
The solution.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because I just asked for a solution and I haven't heard the solution. Have you got the solution?
That's what I'm about to talk about. That's what I'm about. Okay. So first of all, before we like get to this, I feel like it's pretty surface level. This is the thing I've heard for the last 6 years. Players downing tools, getting sad, throwing away the manager, blah 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 blah. Right? I feel like if you watch the games back, if you watch how these players run, they are running for Ten Hag. They are throwing their bodies out there every single time. But oftentimes, Casemiro in these Calvin Phillips lead shifts, what he's doing in the midfield, if they're running for him, they're getting let down a lot of the time. But another thing, let me land.
Yo, let him land. Yo, Neji. Let him land.
You gotta mediate this, Saeed.
No, bro. Is this Neji, bro? Come on, man.
Let him land his point, man. I'm happy to listen, but if you're alive,
You gotta hear what I'm saying though. Listen.
Are you still landing the plane? Yeah.
Yeah. Solution. The way that you get to where Klopp is or where Arteta is trying to go is by having consistency. Ange talked about belief, right? This is how I think about it. Belief happens mostly logically. It's not just about empty words or how a manager uses emotions to get you to believe something. It's also about repeating things over and over again and finding success from repeating those things. Why did Arteta fail at the beginning and now his teams are building out flawlessly? Why did Klopp's press look like absolute garbage initially?
And their structure. Edu got rid of.
Listen, man. Listen.
Right, we're going to start building in. Massive difference. Huge. The whole ethos of that club changed.
I have not discounted the importance of structure. That's what I've been asking. But the thing is, when you have a structure now going forward, you need to have confidence that a manager is not too pragmatic to the fact that they won't have core principles in every step of the way. Again, this is where I call you back to his Ajax teams. Ten Hag is a pragmatic guy. That's why you see him shift the way that he did against Liverpool. That's why you see him play the way he did against City. With Klopp or with Arteta, right? You have to fail. Failure is the number one way to really get to success. Fail over and over again, but you're trying to build something at the end of the day. I don't see Ten Hag doing that, and I see him flip-flopping too much over the next few years.
Neji, one second, Neji. I want to bring Griggs in. Griggs, I want you to go ahead and speak your mind here. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead first. Go on, Griggs.
Z made a lot of good points. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of said a lot of what I was gonna say. So thank you for actually saying. So I don't have to say because I've been saying it on Saeed TV for like almost 2 months now. So it's good to hear someone else say it. But all right, let's really look at this now. Okay, Ten Hag. Okay, I know where Neji's coming from. Neji's like we kind of repeating the same cycle for the past decade. So let's try to change something in the cycle to not repeat it. Where Z's coming from is he's looking at Ten Hag from a coaching point of view that a lot of what he's doing is not sustainable even with the right structure. Because I agree with him. You've heard me say this before. I've compared other coaches to Ten Hag. Ten Hag needs the best of the best for his system to somewhat look good. He needs the perfect number 6. He needs the perfect center back pairing. He needs the perfect full back pairing. He needs the perfect winger combo. When he talked about this transition based thing in the summer, I said this: if you're gonna play transition based, you need to have efficient attackers. Because if you want to play the Klopp system, why did Klopp succeed with his attack? Because he had Mohamed Salah, who was an efficient player. The guy scores a goal every single game. He had Sadio Mane, who was the complete winger. He'll work hard for the team. He's good on both sides. And then you have Roberto Firmino, who's the perfect glue guy. He connects everything. He connects the dots. United don't have that. We have a Marcus Rashford who, whether I like him or not, he's not efficient. He's hot and cold. You had Højlund, who's an unproven product. We didn't know where we were getting. We saw that he could go cold and he could also go hot. Kind of how Rashford is. He's still 21, so he saw his time. And then on the right wing, we don't have anyone on the right. There is no right wing at Man United. You have Anthony, who's garbage. You have Ahmad, who we haven't seen play in the Premier League stage yet. So we don't. He's an unknown commodity. Whether we rate him or not, we don't know what he can do. Get Pellistri, who's like 60 pounds, so he's not gonna work. Who else do you have? We've seen Bruno on the right. We've seen all these guys. So you have that. You have a midfield that you don't know. You don't have a right midfield because you play a 3-1-6 where you have the one. You can't play a 3-1-6 in the Premier League because that means a lot of space. And in the Premier League, opponents know how to capitalize on space. Every single team in the Premier League has athletes. The top of the top athletes. We don't have athletes, first of all. We don't. Casemiro is like 55 years old when it comes to running power. He can't run anymore. You have Amrabat, who's slow as hell. He's stiff. You have Mainu, who I rate Mainu as highly as he can, but his one weakness is he doesn't have the running power. So you built a midfield that doesn't have running power, and then in defense, you want to lead your center backs 2v2, right? You have Lisandro Martinez. We all rate Lisandro Martinez, right? Amazing on the ball. But he can't go defend the wide channels like a Saliba or a Gabriel can. He can't do that. He's short. He's
I agree with that.
Why you going your eyes like that? That is true, bro.
I've seen it live.
Sandro Martinez's weakness is defending the wide channels. He doesn't have the running power of other center backs. He
Don't
doesn't
need
have
the
the branch.
running power.
I
He's
agree.
intelligent. He's
I agree.
intelligent.
I've
He
seen
gets
it.
there before the man.
100%.
Like, we saw it live at Old Trafford, bro. Like bare
Yeah,
time.
sorry,
bro.
right, yeah.
Bare
He hasn't
time.
got the running power, man.
His
He
weakness
hasn't
is
got the
Bro,
running
I
power.
agree.
This
Lisandro on
is
the
not
ball is
1998 where you need running power. Do you play with your man like Daily Blind?
No.
Never pace.
No,
Tony Adams
he's
never pace. That
weakness-
man picked out.
Alright,
What's
you know
going
what?
on here?
All right,
No, his weakness is one channel defending, and on top of that, he's not dominant in his duels. Those are two non-negotiables for Ten Hag center backs.
What?
Huh? Wait. I agree with the first part. I don't know about the second part though.
What
Maybe
am I
that's out for
listening to?
debate.
No, ground duels on the ground duels. He's amazing. Obviously,
No,
aerial duels-
aerially.
He's good in
He's
the area.
in the air.
No. We're not doing this.
Wait,
Listen,
He had. Yeah. Yeah. What are we doing?
No. He has a really good aerial win percentage, but when you look at the amount of attempts of his aerials, he is not attempting that many because there's so many that he cannot just outward stuffer.
An attempt
It's fair.
at a header,
Which is
just because you
logical.
don't attempt one because you may see something else.
His attempts are like 60% less than every other Premier League center back. It's a massive volume difference. It's not even like just it's not decision making. It's
You know what? I'm gonna go back to.
Listen,
You're losing it,
Everyone chill. I'm gonna go back to
Listen,
Griggs' point. What are you gonna say at the end? You're gonna say something at the end, Griggs, or did you land it?
No, I was so he's basically building a team because we brought this up last week. Remember what I said about what Ten Hag said about Pep when he first came in? He said Pep underestimated the P&P of the league. He underestimated the physicality. Eric Ten Hag has proven his own point, Rob, because he's also underestimated the physicality of the Premier League. Because look at the physical stature of the player that he's brought in. He brought in Anthony. Anthony ain't a physical winger because he's not quick. He's not strong. Even look at Garnacho. Garnacho should not be playing more than 80 minutes because by the 80th minute, he's knackered. So you see his physical deficiency stand out even more and more and more. Lisandro Martinez. There's a reason why Arteta, by the way, did not wanted to bring in Licha for left back for the same exact reasons that I just mentioned. He was going to play him left back because he didn't trust the channel defending. That is why when you look at what the model is for the top teams now, there's a reason why both Pep and Arteta have two dominant center backs in both ground and aerial duels that are quick and strong. Look at the likes of Ruben Diaz, John Stones, who else is it? Guardiola. Those guys are powerful defenders. Saliba, Gabriel.
He had
That's what
Otamendi
Liverpool
at City,
plays with.
didn't he? He had
Yeah,
Otamendi at City, and he sold him. Yeah.
But he makes up though. Martinez is like technical ability and passing and
He's
breaking lines.
incredible.
He's
technically.
mad.
He's incredible. He's incredible.
No,
He's
it makes up
incredible.
for it. That's why you
He
get
reads the
Varane.
game well as well. He reads the game well as well.
That's why him and Varane
You can have
look so
deficiency.
good.
Sorry, Kaz, go on, bro. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's why him and Varane look so good because Varane is really good in the air, technically, but
Yeah.
sometimes it might not be enough. That's why you might need a left back or fullback to also add that height or someone in DM or something. That's why Casemiro was there, right? Bro,
I raise you this,
I'm
Kaz.
not
I
gonna
raise you
say
this.
that. I'm not gonna
No,
say
The reason why
one second is this.
I'm not gonna sit and say you can't.
But
have
anyways,
this.
I
Don't
was
get
just gonna say this shit.
Let Michael go. Let Michael go.
Oh, go on, Max.
One last thing, but that Lissandro Varane is a good center back pairing. But if what I think Ten Hag wants to do in terms of like this high octane attacking, pressing stuff like that, that center back pairing for me doesn't work. It's gonna get found out. That's the issue. If you want to play a mid block and you hit teams on the counter, that's a perfect center back pairing.
Yes.
Because you have
No,
Lissandro
man.
Martinez who's excellent on the
No,
ball, and then you have
man.
Rafael Varane who's the
Wow.
best box defender.
Man.
Martinez discourse, man. It
Here's
started
the
with Rand.
thing,
Now
yeah.
it's on for them.
That's incredible.
I'll be honest.
Michael is absolutely cooking here. Listen, the reason why last year it worked so well is because think about the where our line was positioned last season versus Wolves
Yeah, I
this
know.
season at the beginning of the year, and think of the line that Klopp likes to play with Liverpool. What do Konate and Van Dijk have? They're
Pace.
extremely dominant aerially, really good, really decent for Van Dijk at this point, but still really good channel defending, really good on their ground duels, and can cover ground really easily. I'm not totally convinced Lissandro can do that in the highest line when we're trying to counter press like that.
No, you know why? You know why I don't want to.
Let Kaz come in.
I think
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think we've seen it yet because every time we zip it into the midfield, they just lose it anyways. It goes to Rashford, he loses it.
Exactly.
That's why.
Which is why I said.
That's
Yeah,
why I
go
can't
on.
judge Lissandro. One thing I like about Lissandro is at least this guy is a fighter, man, and he shows a bit of heart. And when others don't, and I feel like we can.
I agree.
That's why my top choice is an Nagelsmann because you mentioned the mid block. You're cooking there as well in the mid block. I mean Mike's as well. One thing. Let's go back to Ange's. I haven't forgot by the way, Ange. You asked what's the solution. No one's answered what's the solution with it. The thing is, I think the solution is changing the board, changing the players, changing the managers. That's just my opinion. I just feel like it's a bit of everything. Let's be honest, man. Ten Hag
Agreed.
is the only manager in the Premier League that builds up with one DM and not two central midfielders or two DMs, whatever it is.
Crazy.
The build-up sucks. I can't believe we've got an OG ball-playing midfielder. I was at centre-back in Johnny Evans, and he doesn't even use it. So he doesn't even use people to his strengths. He uses them to their weaknesses more, which I don't rate. Like Casemiro being exposed in space. Johnny Evans is really good at pinging the ball, bringing the ball out, and driving with it. We saw it against City sometimes. He's the OG at it. Like one of them anyways. Let me say not the OG because Rio Ferdinand's and stuff like that. But when it came into that era of systematic ball, there's a reason why Arsenal and Man City wanted him back in the day. I'm just saying, innit? I just don't believe he uses anyone to their strengths. Maybe just the low. I don't think he used Hoyland to his strengths. Got him too busy to putting his batty up against man's, whatever doing up target man settings. I don't want to see that. Rashford is he's just a counter-attacking type player. Same with Bruno. That's why every time we go to attack, these men look like they're awful, and I don't believe that they can ever have anything going on in the future of this club because you know what? I think you can only have one or the other. You can have either technically secure players that are really, really good, and then you can have a Rashford or a Bruno. But Bruno doesn't elevate control, and that's why we get dominated by Sheffield United on their midfield. We get dominated by Burnley's midfield, and these men that you put on a pedestal. I just don't believe Ten Hag knows how to. I just don't believe that.
Before you go.
I don't think Bruno's a counter-attacking player. By the way, I've come to the realization with Bruno, he's not a counter-attacking player because you play counter-attack.
The football man. That's
you feed into his tendencies to be erratic.
Hook
In a possession, you calm him down. You play him at right center mid.
Did you just hear what you said though? Did you hear what you just said though? In a way, Max, calm him down. Did you watch the Ollie interview? There's no calming this brother down.
But he can do it to a certain extent.
Michael's right.
Last year he did it. Last year Bruno played the calmest football of his life. Was it still really good?
Wait, do you remember the Liverpool game? What about that Liverpool game?
Look at the game you're talking about though. Liverpool. What do we do when we play against Liverpool? We counterattack. We never play dominant possession style football against Liverpool. We always counterattack.
Can I raise you on that part? It took a Fulham TikTok and everything for him to actually play like a Fulham TikTok, the manager coming out and backing him for him to play some disciplined ball against Manchester City. He calmed down. He wasn't moaning.
I even saw it before that. The
Hey,
season's
no,
not
I'm not
saying
talking
you know-
about this year. I'm not talking about this year.
Why
I'm
is
not
it
talking
not
about this year.
no,
The guy,
no
no,
one's
no. Why are we
objectively
making
watching
excuses
this
for a near 30-year-old man?
This is
Madden,
mad.
Madden,
You know-
one-
you know
one
what's
second,
crazy?
1 second.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
still
1 second.
tell him, by the
I'm
way.
gonna
Don't get it
pause
twisted. He can
Wait,
still go.
wait,
Like, he's not good enough. But I
Madden,
don't like classing Flying Bruno as a
And also,
counter-attacking
can
player.
we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
something we haven't even
Kaz,
said?
Kaz, 1 second, Kaz.
Okay,
Kaz, 1 second. I'm just
Go
gonna
on.
get a couple of super chats in. Guys, I want to remind you about the like button, people. The like button is very, very low at the minute. There's over 700 in the building, and we're not even past 300 likes. So please, thumbs up button. It's literally free to do so. So please do that. Big up Nedu says, big up my bro Sai, big up the panel, big up always Nedu. Big up to Sanchez. How would Pep look without Erling or Rodri, bro? I don't know. You tell me. Yardman says,
Amazing.
why is man arguing with Zip? The squad is poor. We wouldn't take most of them players. Allow it. Let man finish his point. Okay, cool. My thing is, yeah,
Mm.
I just want to look at, because we always talk about surface level, yeah. I think regardless of structure, yeah, I think there's been so much alarming issues about this squad, yeah. We're looking at the way we are in terms of off the ball. We're looking at how after 60 minutes we look gassed. You know, we're looking at that power and that. You know what I mean? What reminds you of a team that, you know, a Man United team, it lacks it. Even a Ten Hag team, for example. I just look at what Ten Hag and the problems we faced this season. It's been so alarming that, structure aside, I just want to focus on the issues of Ten Hag, yeah, and what he has done this season has made us so bad in his kind of way tactically. Tactically, his flaws. I just want to, for once, just focus on that and be like, yo, Mandem, it hasn't been good enough this season. And yeah, it can be down to personnel, don't get me wrong. But I understand that this season has been poor. 0 goal difference to run right now this season. Yeah, we could talk about the defense and whatnot. The midfield and the attack is my issue. We lack control in midfield, and our attackers, let's be honest with you, they hit and miss because he doesn't know his balance from free, if you're being really honest with you. So I feel like there's so much issues with Ten Hag this season. Structurally or not, it's been a it's opened everyone's eyes. Wow, this is so bad.
Saeed,
It's
I was going to leave it. I was going to leave it to my point.
That's why you can't.
I was
This
gonna-
might be an anomaly, bro.
Alright.
But if I predicted something to happen, no one can expect me to be on your wavelength to go, oh, I should be so shocked and vexed. I keep saying this. The biggest issue and the biggest crime I've had against Ten Hag was how he's prioritised in the summer. And anyone that said to me that we didn't need clinical finishers over Dan Bumba whole keeper, and I told you, what was my specific words?
I
Well,
remember,
guarantee you-
Neji. I remember.
I
remember.
By the way, do you believe in that ideology as
I
this, by the
told
way?
you
Because
we'll
he said that.
concede more
Yeah,
this
can you-
season, we'll
prioritize.
probably create more, but we won't score.
Yeah,
more,
Saeed,
therefore
go,
we'll
Saeed,
lose
go,
more.
bro.
I told you that.
Yeah, because hold on, Leji, yeah.
I
Because
told you
this
that.
hasn't really.
Is that
This,
what's
so
happening?
basically, is this, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna explain your point, bro. 1 second. So basically, Neji was saying that we should have maybe not have prioritized a goalkeeper this summer and prioritize a striker or finishers in the summer. And with that, yeah, okay, bro. Let me land it. Let me
Yeah,
land
go
it.
on. Yeah, don't
Would
be
that
responsible.
have
You know that. Come on now,
changed
bro.
the outcome of the season? Do you reckon that would have changed the outcome of the season? Sis?
No.
I want to hear you because we've heard everyone else's, and then we'll let Ange come in because Ange has not said his piece as well.
Leave it to
So
the point,
this,
though.
so hold on, bro. Hold on. This, no,
Let-
bro,
let
sunshine,
go,
bro,
bro.
relax,
Oh, sorry,
relax.
go on. Yeah, go on.
Bro.
Okay.
You can't hear me, man. Come on, man.
No,
You know,
no,
Ziz,
I told you. No,
you go
'cause
ahead.
I ain't got headphones, so I'm
Okay.
away from the
My
phone,
bad,
innit?
then.
We've got the iPhone.
So
We had the
Ziz,
conversation.
so Leji. Ziz
Wait,
is gonna
what?
go first,
Who
and
are we
then
getting
Ange.
instead of Onana then? Who like what?
I-
Are we getting a striker?
We keep having
Yeah,
Hale.
hey, we keep getting
What's
We
the-
Hale.
keep having Hale. We keep having Hale.
No. What other position are we getting?
Saeed,
Just a
what's the
striker?
question?
Striker. More strikers.
Saeed, what-
No,
So,
that would okay.
Strike.
Okay, so let me
Saeed, what's
explain,
the
right?
question?
So the biggest issue
answer
is
the question, bro, DG. Let me get the answer the question,
No, I'm
bro.
asking what the
Come
question
on,
is.
man.
Oh,
The
he
question is
wants
what
to
you
do
were saying. I'm then translating it to this. That's what I'm doing.
it.
brother.
I'm
You're
lost, bro.
saying.
Wait, no, hold up.
Let me
Did
do this, bro.
Neji
Let
say
me-
another striker or another forward? That's two different things.
No, the forward. Or prioritizing the forward. I'm just saying prioritizing the forwards.
Wait,
Like you said,
Naji,
right?
what position?
I'll tell you what I said. I said, based on the budget that Ten Hag would have this season, it
Yes.
is naive to go and change that many profiles so soon. Because
Wait,
what
no.
he
Can you
did in
just
the
say
first-
which profiles we'd have instead?
Hold up. What he did in the first season, I said that wasn't his style of football. That was an adaptation. He went and got Casemiro because Frankie de Jong is a different six. So he's adapted that style of football, which hence how we played the first season wasn't as the same as this season. And I said to him, most managers don't get 2 seasons at Man United. I said this. And I said, if he prioritizes wrong and makes too much of a change with the profiles that he's done and doesn't build off one of the best defensive records that
Hey,
he
can you
has
just say what profiles we'd have
Wait,
instead?
wait,
Cut to the chase, bro. Cut to the chase.
I'm gonna land to the point.
Go on, land it then.
You man, I literally told you, if you got the best defensive record in Europe, one of best defensive record in the league, you should build off that as your second season. Don't go and change the profile so much.
Which profiles? Which one specifically?
Which one,
bro?
Please, Leji. Which one? You're saying don't change the keeper.
Wait there. You tell me. You're telling me I need to listen to your points in whole, yeah? So I sat there and I listened to my man.
No, it's because you're stalling on a point you already said, which I know.
Finish, bro, but you just ask a question.
Okay. Leji. You said Onana, we should not have really got him instead of prioritizing.
I literally said to you, we shouldn't have spent on Onana, we shouldn't have spent on Mount. And the fact that he's done
Done. And then prioritize for striker.
No,
that's it,
what he should have done, Saeed, is maintain the defensive structure that he had for the first season, one of the best. And what he's actually done is gone and undone that, tried to play his style of football naively and said, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to get a lot more time.
Now you're adding points there, man. Come on, man.
The reality of the situation.
Okay.
Please just tell me. Okay, we maintain the same defensive structure. Fine.
Why are you laughing? I just told you Onana and Mount. What mouth are you not listening?
No, but which profile are you getting on? Are we getting? That's what I'm asking you.
Bro, the first line I said you prioritize forwards over the goalkeeper situation.
Which profile of forward? Which profile of forward?
That's what you need to know. That's what you need to know.
You know?
A clinical one. Okay.
There you go. Cool.
That's all I needed to know. Okay.
Neji, you got to chill now until he finishes his point. Then we're going to get Ange involved, yeah? So you said your bit now. Now, this, now you go.
Okay, now I know he said, okay, keep the same defensive structure last season, a more clinical forward. That maybe we would have like a slightly better position this season, but like he said,
are you kidding me?
You got to mute. Like,
bro, wallahi, man, I've been serious, man. Neji, I got to mute you, bro. Man. Go on, go on. Go ahead.
Okay, the issue is, right, Ten Hag wants to take steps forward. And if you're going to take steps forward, that means sacrificing some of the pragmatic stuff you did last season. The pragmatic thing he did last season was the double pivot, was sitting in the mid block, and was playing primarily counter-attacking, not even transition, not even like high pressing, just counter-attacking football. This season, what he did was he tried to take that step forward in trying to make the high press happen, but he didn't support it with the back line. So you see this massive space in the midfield. Even if we don't have Onana, even if we didn't get Mount right, getting a profile of midfielder like Mainu in here, it's fucking useless when we're not even prioritizing control in a match. We give so much away every single game. And let's say we play the mid block, we still try to do the slower progression. It wouldn't be a big step forward. You need to like the press would need to be something that needed to start this year, but he didn't coach it well, and he didn't have the correct profiles in his backline to support it. And the midfield thing, that's a whole other issue.
How can you sit there?
Ange, hold on a minute. Ange is gonna go next, and then Neji, and then we get what do you call it, the lesson, because we want to get different opinions, man. Come on, man. Ange, you go next.
You know what I want to know? You don't want to know, bro? What happened during our preseason camp in America? Something happened. I'm telling you, man. Somebody needs to do an investigative piece because the players were complaining with how hard Ten Hag was overtraining him. And that's caused a lot of our injuries throughout this season. I think he overtrained him and killed him. And that's why when they came in that first Wolves game, they were dead. They were dead. And we've had injury after injury, and we've been playing catch up after. I think his career at United ended because he overtrained him during preseason. I reckon if he didn't overtrain him, we could have done something similar to last year. Defended really well. Half the team was really like healthy last year. I think something big happened during. Even Ericsson was complaining. Ericsson's not one to complain. He was saying that it was. He was saying it was crazy.
I'm tickling his chest respectfully.
It was a travel. They did cross-country travel the whole preseason. That got onto them. Ten Hag didn't rotate in terms of minutes correctly. He didn't prioritize when to play the starters, how many minutes to play them. Because that Arsenal preseason game in Melef when I went to Arteta played his starters 75 minutes that game. We only played 45.
Yeah.
We were playing catch up from the beginning in preseason because our guys had a little bit longer rest than other teams in terms of vacation. So we started off the pace and we never caught up. And then to catch up, we overtrained and then we paid the sacrifice.
Can we talk
And all the
about
injuries.
Can we go back to
And just
Pogba?
one more point. The other thing is Onana. He's the one. There's a reason why we're not in the Champions League. He's been doing all these interviews talking about how he's turned his season around. Can we at least have a good 6 months before we do a eulogy on how well he's playing? Like he's been doing every week. There's a new interview with Onana, and like I'm this, I'm better than. I'm like, can we wait 6 months and then tell us how good you are? That's all I'm asking for. That's.
You know what? Yeah, I didn't even want Onana. I wanted Mate Kova in the net. I remember because I didn't want to because of our budget. And I remember me and Neji going back and forth with the De Gea thing. And I remember this like it was yesterday, but everyone's getting gas over Onana. But I said, no, we got Mate Kova. I said, we don't need to bother with the goalkeeper. I didn't even care if De Gea stayed or not, but I was kind of in the camp of getting rid of him because of his wages and stuff like that. We needed to prioritize the midfield before another forward. Like, I'm not being
Cover's
funny.
good too. Cover's a good goalkeeper.
They messed up. They gave all the power to Ten Hag, or most of it to Ten Hag on the veto part. He sanctioned 80 million for Anthony. When actually the recruitment looked at what's his name? There was a release clause for Michael Olise, which we could have grabbed for 30 million at that time. And there was the other one who was at Musa Diaby. I think he was quoted at 50 million, 55 million, and he rejected it. And the manager should know the budgets now. So that's where he went wrong, in my opinion. That was the start of it, was overpaying, as we always do when we thought we didn't want to do. I thought Casemiro at the time was actually correct. In my opinion, I think we really did need that DM, and in my opinion, it worked. It's just that after that, why did you get Mason Mount? You said you went to his house and had a conversation. Well, how can you not suss out that this guy's got mental health issues or whatever issues it may be? And now you just paid all that money to Chelsea for him to not be available all season long. So clearly you can't have a proper conversation with a guy and get everything out of him, because when players start doing that blonde phase, I know there's something wrong. Like honestly, and they start shaving off their head.
3 cars in 3 months, so it's good. Yeah,
Bro, Kaz, man. Yo, listen, you're going off topic here, man. What are you doing here, man?
But the thing is, I believe there are signs. Like there are signs of it. Like in my opinion, especially with footballers and stuff like that. It's always the case.
Okay.
No, but it's true though. It's actual psychological facts as well, bro. Like so, let's not ignore stuff like that. But he had mental health issues clearly, and I think that's why he's truly been out for a long time. And I think a lot of the whole country was on this guy's case, and I think maybe he needed that timeout. I thought his mental to buy him. No one wanted him. We wanted control. He played more games on the wing, right, than he has in central midfield. Yeah, left wing, right wing.
That's
all
true.
That kind of too cool. Why are we getting him, bro? We needed 2 midfielders. Why are we paying 55 million in excess for this guy? I don't understand that part. So
I don't think it was the right thing to get him.
The thing is, we clearly saw that we rejected Man United. This is not on Ten Hag. We rejected the offer for McTominay because we wanted to get 10 more million. So that's pure profit gone out the window. That's just stupid from the club, and maybe from Ten Hag because he's got veto power as well. So on that part, we could have got someone like Manu Kone. Someone that we need a bit of PNP, someone that's going to get us up.
Mohamed Kudus. We could have got Mohamed Kudus.
Kudos, we could have got.
Man, please don't do this to me, man. Mohamed Kudus.
At the end of the day, yeah, I'll keep it 100.
Amadou would have been Onana would have been the guy.
I feel like we needed to prioritize the midfield before another forward, mainly the proper profile. But he wanted these guys, man. He went to Man Majard and stuff. It's just.
One second. Yo, Neji, 1 second. 1 second. I want to read this super chat here because it's a very, very good super chat here. And guys, keep liking the video, people, man. Shots conceded. Big up Aslan said shots conceded first Premier League games at home in the Champions League under Turk Ten Hag. Spurs 24, Chelsea 16, LFC 16. Guys, it's not complicated. Do your homework. His teams are always open. But Aslan, is that right? Should it be always open? And if you also, you need to know when to do that. If you haven't got the group of players that are physically good enough to go up and down and have the legs, then don't do that. Like, don't do that to Casemiro. Leave himself exposed in midfield. Don't do that.
That's why
That's another thing. He's never been like this elite out of possession manager. He's not like at the same level of Nagelsmann in his press. And you see that this season, like the construction of his press is fucking atrocious.
fully disagree with that.
Yeah, that's why I say midfield. We need the control. We've seen it for a long, long time. How long did it take us to buy a midfielder as well after like the Moyes, Louis Van Gaal eras, all that? We waited after Schneiderlin to get a Matic, a washed up Matic, pretty much. It was one season. So, and then we got Pogba all of a sudden, and then again we have to wait because we have to stop with McFred for so long. We need profile, and right now we still need two midfielders. And I don't
even think because you're wrong to say.
Because we talk about base. Z said base. You mentioned structure. So at the same time, where's your base at? Because I believe
I was looking at spine and go. Your spine of your team, no matter what era of football, is the most important. No matter what style football system you play, your spine is the most important. And if that's off, it's always going to be a struggle no matter what. But all I was saying, Kaz, is that last season we scored 54 goals in a season. And man were trying to tell me, and I was objective with this, man were trying to tell me De Gea was the biggest issue. If you listen to Twitter and social media, they'll tell you De Gea is the biggest issue. If you go down to a football pitch and you start talking with coaches and that, they're talking about raw. You might not miss your chances not scoring goals. He's not your biggest issue. Now, I remember us talking, because I said, and I think Saeed as well on the Mandem talk, we spoke about it, I said, De Gea has to go. That's not an issue. But prioritizing him when to go is going to be a big issue. Because even if he makes... And again, I'm going to be extreme for the guys who are opposite my opinion. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you made 3 mistakes, 1 in every 5 games. If you've got clinical forwards, you're still winning games 4-2, 4-1. And when you look at it, midfield-wise, from an offensive point of view, creating chances wasn't as much of an issue. So if he can do that in his first season... What
clinical forwards are there in Europe, by the way? What clinical forwards, apart from Harry Kane, which clinical forwards in Europe are there that guaranteed are going to get you goals this season?
First, you have to establish what I mean by clinical. I mean either making that final pass in the third or actually putting the ball on target on the net. To me, that's clinical. Being able to create,
Well, come on, man. Most strikers are ability to do that. The ability to score goals is what separates them most. So I'm asking you a question: who's clinical in Europe?
If this was 4-4-2, then strikers only.
But he's not.
You got your wide men. Like I don't rate Rashford too tough.
Your solution was also not better than Ten Hag's. For being honest with you, at least Ten Hag's solution was logical. Get a keeper who can play out from the back.
How is it not logical though?
I completely disagree. No, Naji, listen. This is pretty surface level if you think about it.
Naji, I'm gonna land my point. Relax.
Okay.
I'm gonna land my point. If you bring in an Onana and you go raw, look how he plays it into Milan, sick. And you look at the balls he's spraying and the balls that he's spraying them too. You're trying to tell me Rashford can control the ball when it comes down to the wing to him. You're trying to tell me we've got forwards who can hold up the ball and utilize them types of passes. You're telling me we've got midfielders who can control the ball. We haven't got that. So why are you bringing that type of player in? If you're going to replace De Gea, no problem. What did I tell you? Don't replace a goalkeeper that's shit saving a ball, but is great kicking. I don't care if he can kick 10, 15 yards. Replace the saving ability and add quality to the football. Otherwise, it's pointless and a waste of money. And I told you, man, that's what would happen.
Don't you think it's Ten Hag's fault for not utilizing Onana's build-up, his passing? Don't you think it's on?
You should have gone and got Costa.
Hold on.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Let me hear the question, Leji. Let me hear the question.
Champions League facts.
Don't you think it is an indictment on Ten Hag's ability to coach a team that Onana's biggest strength, his passing, his help and build-up, is not used at all at United?
Not used at all. Why so extreme?
He plays long balls. His biggest strength in finding the line breaker, in his weight of pass in 30 to 40 yards. Do you think Onana is even being used at 10% of what his actual ability is? Did you see him in that UCL final versus City? He's an unpressable keeper.
Just quickly, if you watch that,
okay,
if you watch that Champions League, if you watch that Champions League final, he played a lot of long balls in that Champions League. But this is why I'm agreeing with you, Neji. The thing is, he played a lot of long balls. This is Onana at Inter. But they had physical forwards that would fight, bring the ball down so you can win that second ball. Our forwards, especially if Haaland's not playing, they're not fighters. They're very passive. They're willing. They don't.
So that leaves
one second. Let me explain my point.
Land after him. I want to leave you onto that point. I think he's onto something as well, though.
What I'm saying though is the tactical intent of the manager matters a lot. The reason why Onana went long versus City is because City had the best defense, one of the best defenses ever. One of the best. You gotta let me talk, man. You gotta let me talk. This is insane.
Come on, man.
You're not letting me talk.
This is
No.
mad football talk. You're talking.
No, it really isn't.
But you have to find out the
This
whole
is
point,
crazy.
What are you doing?
Lazy, chill. But
Yo,
we have
listen.
to find everyone's point. Not everyone agrees with you, bro.
respect it, but I ain't got
It's
the
a- it's
mental
an opinion.
capacity. Come
We're
on,
not-
switch
listen,
me
we're not-
goalposts.
Hold on.
Saeed, you just gotta mute, man. That's that's all you
Bro,
gotta
I
do.
gotta mute, man.
Hey,
My
Neji,
thing
you're,
is, yeah.
part of the you're part of the Man United regime right now. They affected your mentality, man. What's going on? You losing
Yeah,
your head.
exactly. You gotta realize
He's
yeah,
lost
when
it
we
today.
have
I
these
love it.
opinions,
I
yeah,
love it.
we're all here,
Mad,
different
bro.
opinions. G, one thing that you struggle to do, yeah, and this is not being, but you struggle
No,
to
I hear it,
hear
bro.
other people's opinion. Okay, let me hear his opinion.
No,
And
you know what
then
it is, Saeed?
vote on it. But
Let me just keep it
hold
100
on,
with
you
you,
don't even
bro.
hear my opinion now, bro. So you don't even hear my opinion.
No,
Come
I
on,
am
man.
hearing your opinion. I know what you're going to say.
Listen, hold
I'm
on,
No,
agreeing-
you're
I'm
not-
agreeing
bro.
with you.
hold on.
I feel like I'm talking to my mother here. Oh my god.
No,
Bro,
don't.
bro,
You're going
bro.
too far. You're going too far there. Don't do that to Neji.
My bad.
1 second.
Yeah, don't
One
chat like
second.
that, bro. Don't,
Yeah,
you're not that
bro.
guy. Don't do that.
Let me
Don't
just
do
say
that. We're not
something.
here
Yeah,
for that.
I want to talk debate football amicably, man. Let me just everyone hear their point, man. Because at the end of the day, the comments are gonna like it. They're the ones that supporting the channel, man. So please, let's just do it all together one time. Right, this. You say something, then I want Ange to go back in this point. Then I want to see Michael as well, because I'm not heard from Michael as well. So please, let's share the comments around, man. But yeah, go on, this.
Okay, Ange made a really good point that Onana was playing long balls, but we can't just evaluate what happened. We have to understand why it happened. So Onana played long balls because City had one of the best presses ever. They forced those long balls, and Inter wasn't able to create those situations to get those short passes. United, we have the players against Luton, against Sheffield United, against fucking Burnley. We have the systems where we can create short passes. We can create a build-up system, but it is completely ignored in the absence of Lisandro Martinez. It is majorly Ten Hag's fault for not allowing or putting the intent on Onana to use his build-up to establish control in possession. And to act like it's not his fault in that is just negligence. That's all it is.
Yeah, okay. Now, Ange, you go, and then I want to go to Griggs as well. So can we do this, people? Ange, you next.
No, I think I agree with a lot of that. But the thing is, even a lot of the mid-table teams in the Premier League, they're pressing aggressively now. Like Aston Villa is pressing aggressive. Like even Burnley presses. The thing is, when we do hit it up top, we don't win enough second balls. We just don't, and that's because of the lack of physicality in the team, man. Like Inter were amazing in that Champions League final because yes, 100% City were pressing aggressively. So the best place is to hit it forward. And they were winning a lot of second balls. They were getting in behind City. We just don't have enough of those players. Even Højlund, he's not a great hitter of the ball, you know. So we do need more physical forwards that are going to win those second balls. And I think that will make us better for sure.
But that's on Ten Hag, right? Like his strategy to play long balls. Like we're playing into our weaknesses. Wouldn't you agree?
Because of our personnel, yeah, for sure.
I agree. Talk about two players that we wanted last year, by the way. Go on. What that Inter Milan.
Okay, Griggs, go ahead. Go ahead, Griggs.
Please.
So De Gea, I mean, let's be real. I was probably the head of the anti-David De Gea brigade on Twitter anyway, so I might as well address it here. I want. All right, so obviously I wanted him out. I stand by the one Ten Hag decision. I stand by when it comes to transfers was getting rid of De Gea. I thought that was the right decision. With Onana, I was hyped. I'm not gonna lie here and say I wasn't hyped about Onana. We saw the Champions League final performance. I did always have questions about his shot saving capability, but to be honest, looking at just from the Premier League, Champions League, this guy was scoring own goals. But from the Premier League, when you really look at the numbers, he's actually overperforming his saving numbers. He's actually prevented more goals than he should be allowing. When you actually look at it, he's actually preventing more goals shot stopping wise than David De Gea was last year, and this is the self-alleged better shot stopper in 2024.
So how many shots is he facing? Sorry. You forgot about that bit.
Can we add a little bit of context to De Gea, please, if you don't mind. Do you want to land son?
No.
Lane.
This is wild for me, bro.
No, because you know what's De Gea? Can we do something with De Gea as well? Yeah. Let's not act like he was passing the ball to the opposition just to save it back again, anyways. So we're forgetting this. Like that would happen loads. But at the
I
same
remember that conversation actually. Because I remember pulling up the clip where he's actually accurately passing long ball, short ball. No one to.
Yeah. The thing is, this is my point as well. Because I thought De Gea's short passing was actually not too sad last year, but that's because we was deep carrying a ball. This is what elite. Reason why Inter Milan and Onana was so good is because they had 2 players and actually another in attacking mid, Brozovic and Barella. Now tell me what players other than Kobe has got the technical ability to pick up the ball from deep and keep it and move it to someone else like a Chanoglu and keep the ball kicking and moving. And then you got a DeMarco who was obviously going up far and Dumfries. You got 2 athletes, right? That's the difference. That's why I say midfield is the biggest issue right now. Like, and then if the thing is, if we got a better midfield, the defense gets up the pitch. If we got a midfield, the forwards get up the pitch. They have to do less work. Then a Sancho would actually thrive. He would actually have some fun. You know, Højlund wouldn't have to do so much dog work, and Rashford, he wouldn't even. The whole thing that Rashford don't work hard, he might start working hard because guess what? He doesn't have to do so much dog work as well at the same time. Even though people call him lazy, I've seen that guy run and then knackered. That's why they're knackered by the 60th minute. So this is why I say we need proper midfielders. This is why the whole Mason Mount thing, he lost me at Bournemouth 3-0, by the way. And the whole Mason Mount thing is, there was 2 profiles that I like. There was a Manu Kone and there was a McAllister. We saw McAllister for 35 and we saw Manu Kone who's been quoted at 18 million. Yeah, and we could have got him for probably cheaper at 15. That's what's wrong with Man United. That's 2 players. You got a build up, man. That's before we knew what Kobe Minu could do, by the way. I'm talking on that part. And then we had a guy who's got actually PNP plus technical ability, who kind of reminds me of Moussa Dembele, that does box to box and great defensive work. It's just, I just think it's just 2 things that since Scholes, we just don't have another one of those players. And it annoys me. I don't rate Khéphren Thuram too highly personally, but he's probably a profile that we could do with, but I don't think he's technically suited to the Prem. I think it'd be annoying. It'd be like watching Tonali. But that's my issue. We need to solve this midfield more than anything else, man.
To piggyback off Cass's point, when he brought in Onana, he was doing kind of what Ole mentioned in his interview, right? Taking that next step. By bringing in Onana, I think Z mentioned it, he's ditching the pragmatic approach, right? The line's going to get pushed up because Onana's a better sweeper keeper than David De Gea, so he can play a little bit more off his line. That means you could push your center backs theoretically a little bit higher. The midfield gets pushed a little bit higher. And the forwards get pushed up a little bit higher, and you can start sustaining territory more. But this is where Ten Hag can't coach. This is where Ten Hag's coaching negligence comes in because he can't coach a rest defense properly.
Can't even coach a press.
His fullbacks are not back in the press. That's an issue because you have the fullbacks that can back a press. Diogo Dalot has the engine to back a press. It's not a Dalot not working hard issue because we know how hard Diogo Dalot can work.
Even Luke
Shaw can run. It's not the most pretty, but he can run. He's physical. He's strong too.
He can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore consistently.
I'm not asking him to bomb up and down like a Grimaldo or a Frimpong at Leverkusen, but he can still back up press.
That's what the football's become, though. That's what football's become now, though. You have to.
No, but Luke Shaw can win the duel, though. He has good duel winning numbers.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have to bomb up and down. He could do the inverted role while Dalot's the one that bombs up and down. That's where Ten Hag is coaching negligence. And then the duel winning. This is where maybe like Rashford is the issue in this attack a lot of time. Rashford doesn't like engaging in duels. That's his biggest issue for me. It's not that he can't win though, because he has the physical profile to win duels. He's 6'3". He's strong. He can win the ball, but he doesn't want to engage in them.
Maybe he jumps out of challenges. He jumps out of challenges, bro.
Not 5'10". Rashford's not 5'10".
It's like the Ollie, man. Ollie ruined him.
Rashford's listed 5'10".
Ruined him, man.
Rashford is not 5'10".
Is he 5'10"? Nah, he ain't 5'10".
Ever since he's he's
searchable, he's 5'11" or something. I was really surprised. I thought he was like 6'2".
Yeah, I think he's about 6'2".
He actually looks taller than he.
He's 5'11". He's 5'11". 5'11".
He's not.
Yeah. I swear to God, Rashford
is 5'11".
Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, he is 5'11". According to Google, Google is 5'11".
He's 7'2". But anyway, it's stuff like that. It's like it's a mismatch of profiles and that's where Cash right the midfield. We needed midfielders. We always said the only reason I ever agreed to Mason Mount was because I thought there was gonna be a second midfielder that comes in. That was my thinking process. And it wasn't Amrabat that was going to come in. I thought we were going to get another good midfielder that's going to play a little bit deeper that can rotate with Casemiro or can play with Casemiro in big games. But it was a more dominant profile than Amrabat. Unfortunately, we didn't get that kind of player. And now we're paying for it. I thought we were going to get a center back because I thought Maguire was leaving. Well, Maguire didn't end up leaving. So now he doesn't have the center backs that he can trust, I guess, to play the system. But what I say last week, you make the center backs play your way, or you tell them you're never playing again. It's as simple as that. Tell them it's my way or the highway. It's as simple as that. That's what all the top managers do.
So respectfully, it's not simple when you go, okay, it's all right to go, you can't play. Cool. I'm with that personally. I actually am. But then I go, well, who are you putting in there instead? And
which one? Which position?
I guarantee you,
center back.
every single one of you, If every
I'll
single
take
one of
Kevin Wall
you,
and just develop
if
him
every
then.
single one of you dropped your players that you didn't want, right? Knowing what you think, what we all think we know of Ten Hag and how he's trying to play, whether you think he's doing it or not, what we think we know of him. You put your 11 out to fit Ten Hag's style for me. Guarantee everyone has a different formation, and then ask me if you could be consistent for a season with that 11. I'll let
I
you
feel
pick
like-
it. So if you say, you know what, I don't want Maguire here, you're not never playing again, so you be the manager. Let's see what type of players you put up with again, knowing the availability that we've got. You go and do that, and you tell me what you would expect out of that team.
Again,
I'm
this
genuinely curious.
this ignores the point Michael is making
Bro, to answer the
about.
question, man, it doesn't ignore nothing.
No, it does.
I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question. Because all right, this is my
Thank
answer
you,
to the
Michael.
question. I would respect him more if he told them it's my. He abandoned. This is my issue with
He has
Ten
no
Hag.
balls.
He abandoned his principles when a certain guys go out, right?
What
Like Lisandro
principles are we
Martinez.
talking about? Be specific for me so I can understand.
The principle in terms of playing out the back and stuff like that. When his full starting 11 is there, right? We can kind of see what he's trying to cook. Like for me, the game against Wolves is the prime example of what Ten Hag ball is meant to be, right? When we had our full starting 11 against Wolves at Molyneux, not the game at Old Trafford, against Molyneux when we went up 2-0 in the first 10 minutes, right? That first half for me, that was pretty much what I think Ten Hag ball is meant to look like, and it was dominant in my opinion. Even though we ended up conceding the lead and stuff like that, for me, I thought we were in control for most part of that game. I always said this: Licha can't get hurt again because what we're gonna see if Licha gets hurt again, we're gonna go back to the basics where our center backs are defending at the edge of the box, yet our midfielders are pressing up high. Our fullbacks aren't back in the press. That's my issue. If Lisandro Martinez goes all right, if Harry Maguire goes back to left center back, you tell Harry Maguire you're gonna play on the halfway line. If you get cooked, you get cooked. You're gonna have to
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And I would respect him more because at least then I could just say, right, if Harry Maguire's getting cooked, I'm like, okay, Harry Maguire's just not good enough, right? But I see what he's trying to do. If we have a better player in that area, then it'll work.
And
Because we don't
Casemiro
have the
isn't finished
personnel.
either, by the way. He's not finished. There's a reason why Casemiro looks so good.
Yup.
I looked
Exactly.
At Real Madrid, you know what the funny thing is? I looked at Real Madrid the other day. Go look at the space between defense, midfield, and attack. This is why when he closes down minimal space, he's amazing. Too much space,
Yeah, of course.
he gets
Yeah,
cooked.
exactly.
Simple as that. So I don't think his legs are gone. He's just being exposed because he's not used to it.
Exactly.
This is why.
That first season for
when you-
Casemiro, cuz.
But that,
First
when
series
you said,
was
Nate,
switch.
about what 11 you'd put out, I know what 11 I'd put out, in my opinion. Do I think he's
Based on availability.
Yeah. Oh, based on availability. Are you asking me for my
I'm
11?
trying to make it
On my
as
11?
realistic as possible.
On my 11?
I want to know the difference between expectations and what's real right now. Because it's all
All
right
right.
saying get rid of this, but then
All right. If that's are you asking for my 11 then? Yeah.
more time, yeah.
All right,
And again,
so-
not to make anyone look stupid. I'm genuinely trying to understand the
Is this at the start of the season? Is the player what we got available right now, or can it be some loan players?
So okay, so in general, those who have been semi-fit, so Luke Shaw, technically you could say half a season, yes, you could use him, but then you're looking at a man like Mason Mount not been available, so you
The
can't.
way I would have done it is I would have played higher up the pitch. Kambawala has been highly rated anyways, and I was excited for him to come in. If I would have put Alvaro, I would never have got rid of Reguilon at the time. Personally, I think that was stupid. That was down to the medical team. I would have played a higher line, much higher line. I don't care if we get battered 4-0. I'm with the Ange type beat. Luke Shaw obviously goes in there. Let's be real, he goes in there. If he's there, if not, I would have had Alvaro, or obviously I would have kept Reguilon, because obviously Malacia, honestly, Quincy Promes settings. Then I would have had, obviously, like has been out. I would have had Campbell and Varane. I think you should have developed him. In my opinion, I think he's that good. I think he's got that ability. We was actually talking. I swear we was talking about him in the summer. To be fair, I even like the other one that was playing in preseason. I would have developed it like that. Johnny Evans shouldn't play as much games. And then I would obviously Delo or Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, Delo's proven himself, so there.
Been fit,
I would have had Kobe, Casemiro, Ahmad. That would have been my.
hasn't played many games.
That would have been my three.
Midway through the season,
That would have been my three because Casemiro's not technical, so I'd have an Ahmad and a Kobe, and I'll play higher up.
No,
So
you can't have Kobe. You got to replace him.
why am I not allowed to have Kobe?
Why? What is the point of saying this? I don't get it.
No.
Why am I not allowed to have Kobe?
The same reason I've just explained. Yeah, if a player's not been available for majority of the season, which Kobe hasn't, by the way, for a long period of season, you can't have that player.
He would have been.
You didn't classify the
If he
start.
plays October, man.
No, I did. I literally said those who have been available, majority. Those who've been available.
I feel like
but he has been
Like Mason Mount hasn't been available
now.
for majority of the season.
I
So
feel
I'm
like
trying to
he's
say,
No, man, tip it to Kobe, man.
What? No. Wait,
Because
Najee.
the
what is the
logic-
point you're trying to make? What's your conclusion?
You asked me for my
I'm
11 minute, what I would have
that's what
done
I'm
in
about
it.
to say right now.
There's no point in it.
Kaz, the reason I'm saying this, yeah, is because it's all right to say get rid of this player. But from the manager's perspective, I'm trying to put you in his situation. You can't draw for a Kobe Manu for most of your season. We all agree here. You need a consistent 11 to play something consistent. At least 10, 15 games with the same 11.
How about this then? My consistent 11 doesn't have Anthony to the point where it pisses off Sancho. Sorry for swearing. I shouldn't swear during Ramadan. And the other part, I wouldn't have McTominay anywhere near my team, let alone starting. Maybe on the bench is fine. Yeah, cool. There you go, done. How about that? I've already solved 2 issues. McTominay and Anthony, sickos of the game, abominations.
Okay. Can I ask you this?
As well.
Said, how do you feel about Sancho coming back into form? I know you'd love it. I just want to know your answer.
No, I know Sancho's a baller, man.
Tell us how much you love this. Tell us how much you love this.
Sancho's a baller, man.
Wow.
Sancho's going to
German tax,
and then he's going to dunk on Ten Hag, man. He's going to come back before this manager, man. I'm telling you now. I want to move on. Aslan said, not hearing an excuse. If Ben Davies and Emerson can play a high line away at Villa Park and dominate, then Varane and Evans can. Maybe not Varane. Sorry, not Evans, but Varane maybe so. Guys, a bona fide coward. Listen, Aslan, I think other players can. If you play Kwambala, if you play others that Kaz has mentioned there, they can do. You know what I mean? And can do it to a better level as well. Listen, over 800 in the building. Guys, we need 500 likes. 500 likes ASAP. Mods, get on it ASAP, yeah? Been a good debate show. And listen, it's not been the smoothest of shows, but listen, we're here. We all love Man United. How are we winning tomorrow? And if we are winning tomorrow? Griggs, start with you.
Wait,
are we winning
Sunday,
tomorrow?
No? We're playing on Sunday, no?
Sorry, Sunday. Are we winning against Liverpool? And if we can, how do we beat Liverpool? Is there any hope, Griggs?
Give us. I don't think. I mean, I think maybe Liverpool rotate a little bit. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. Maybe play.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I think they're gonna play. I mean, we got a result against them this year already. To be fair, no, and I thought we didn't have the likes of. Well, Bruno didn't play that game. That might have been a positive for us. But anyway, I think we could beat them. I think at Old Trafford. I think the crowd will definitely be up for it. I think we know what's at stake here. Liverpool are going for a quad, even though it's a baby quad. It's not like the legit quad, but they're still going for it. And I think they have areas where they could get hurt. First of all, I know Keller here has been on fire lately, but he's still not Alisson. He could still get beat. We have ball striking. Højlund's back. That's the first good thing. The fact that Højlund back is giving me a little bit of hope here. He ain't
playing no 90 minutes.
Nah, but he could play like 60, and that could be enough to do enough damage in the 60 minutes. Because I thought if Højlund played against City, I actually think we could have left the Etihad with something. If he played at the number 9,
I agree with that one as well.
Instead of like a Bruno false 9, I think we could have left like a 1-1 from the Etihad. I think or like a 2-2 or something like that. I think we could get at them. I think we're gonna play. I don't think we're gonna play like in terms of like a City low block, the way that we just literally parked the bus. I think we're going to be a little bit more expansive. I think we're going to pick our moments, and we're just going to have to be clinical. Rashford's going to have to.
No, Bruno's got to go false 9. Just don't let him go anywhere near the midfield. Again, another abomination of football. Like, just go up there and just bore off. That's what I would say. Try drag out Van Dijk or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Luckily, they don't have Konate. Like, I'm not.
Just do the same shit with it. Just play aggressive. Or just have every player just be aggressive in your tackles. Don't be passive. And I think we can nick a 2-1. I think we can score 2 goals past them. I don't think they've been good defensively, but they're still gettable.
Yeah, I think so. It's that over the ball. The Diags kill them. That's the way you can get at them, really. But Kelleher's on form. They're on fire, man. I can't lie.
What did Klopp say? What did Klopp say in his press conference? I've got something planned for United. Did he say that today?
That's cute.
Are you guys Klopp? Klopp was like, I've got something.
Is Old Trafford advantage or disadvantage these days?
No, definitely an advantage. The crowd's going to be rocking tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a night game, yeah?
Oh, is it?
No.
Is it a night game? Shoot.
Free for you, it'll be nighttime, probably.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But for us.
Yeah,
for Australia, it's a 3:30 kickoff. Listen, I think for me, tactically, I've got no hope in it. You know what I'm saying? But on the counter attack, they do play a high line. You know, they will leave spaces. You know what I mean? Is that somewhere you can see United exploiting? I mean, Rashford has to have one of his game of his life against a young kid in Bradley. But again, he's been good this season as well. That right back, we have to make sure we track back as well as this, man. Let's be honest, because they play with fullbacks that bomb on forward, invert well. You know, technically sound. They won't lose the ball. I think often.
I think we should go for 4-4-2 mid block. So this is the thing that we did in some games. It worked decently well. But what I don't like that he likes to do is make Garnacho the outlet runner. He's not clinical enough. He's not fast enough. He's not good enough in the 1v1. I think Rashford, as much as people like to shit on, dunk on Rashford for like, not like running as much, I think putting him in a role that preserves him so he can be used for those transition moments as much as possible will be our best bet. Like, how do we draw at Anfield? Good box defending, lay it to the last man, and just drive forward as much as possible. I don't think Bruno false 9 is the move. I think if Højlund is there, Højlund must start, because even then, I don't think we should like be building out the back or like doing anything crazy. I don't think he has the confidence to do that with Evans anyways. So hit it up to Højlund. Hopefully he wins a couple of his duels against Van Dijk, and then get the out ball going to Rashford. If we can get one goal there, Old Trafford crowd, something.
I'm not watching it.
Have you said that Johnny Evans isn't good playing the ball out?
He has no. This is what I was saying. When you don't do it consistently week in, week out, you can't expect to have results. That is the entire result of Ten Hag's coaching. You can't expect something to be great unless you play it over and over again.
Disagree to agree to disagree.
Have you got any left backs? Have you got any left backs available? No?
Wait, you disagree with the idea that
Is Wan-Bissaka back?
Wan-Bissaka's back. Wan-Bissaka's back.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
nice.
yeah, he's an athlete. Get him on. Get him on, man. Against
Hey,
Salah.
Højlund's back, yeah? Højlund's back
Højlund's
tomorrow.
back.
Yeah.
I think that changes. I love this kid, man. I reckon it's going to change the way we play. I reckon it's going to change. Having Højlund
or two though.
is going to really. It gives us a chance, I reckon.
Yeah.
You know what's mad though, yeah? When people spoke about the injuries not being an excuse, but then Højlund got injured, everyone shit themselves like, oh, what's going on? So wait there.
Because that's the only outlet.
I thought injuries weren't an issue. Injuries can't be used.
Come on, man.
We should be able to dominate.
you're arguing pretty disingenuously. You're like ignoring context.
No, I'm not ignoring context. So the context
You
is
are,
very
you
simple.
are.
If you don't have profiles on your pitch to be able to play the
You're just saying the word profile instead of actually explaining what type of profile it
What makes
is.
Højlund so special?
No.
Big body,
Why-
helps in duels, long ball. Trying to
We need to
get
get this and
Back
Najee
back
back on
defender.
defender.
What?
It's about Martinez and the style of football, but no one to do that. But you might have been talking about Martinez as if he's the
This
key
is not
player
a
as
good
well. So I'm
argument.
thinking, okay, so there's a big issue then, isn't there?
We really not rating Martinez over here. This is mad.
No, I'm saying they did. This is what I'm trying to say.
No, there's
why I'm
flaws.
talking
No, hold on a
context
minute. I don't think they
there
said
are
that.
certain
I think they're
players-
talking about
No.
they're talking about flaws in the
Saeed,
game.
there are
Why
certain
can't we
players
talk about
I've
flaws in
been
the game?
telling you, man, that are key to how Ten Hag plays. You didn't want to hear it because you said I don't want to hear injuries. I said okay, cool. So
No,
why you
that
got
is
me
not the
like,
point.
You're the only one that told
You're
us.
straw manning here. That was never the point.
Bro,
To me, it's never the
it's
point.
90% of the
I was
fan
the one
base.
who made that
Hold
point,
on
bro.
a
You
minute, hold
weren't
on a
even
minute,
on the
hold
show
on a
when I
minute,
made
hold on a
that
minute.
point. What are you on about?
Leji,
I made that point.
you know what you do?
Statement.
You know what you do?
Najee.
You know what you do, Leji, yeah? You always feel like I told you so, bro.
Because
Everybody
it's the fact I
knows
told
Martinez
you. I've got the
outstanding
receipts,
in our
bro. You
team.
know, hey, Saeed, you know my receipts there, bro. I never said anything about my receipts. That's
No,
the
but the thing
fact.
is, why are you going on like you told us how Martinez is so important for this team? Everyone knows how important Martinez is to this team.
Again, you like context, yeah? I said to you there are key players, yeah? Key players.
Yeah,
that have
key
been
players.
injured.
Okay, I can
And
say
I
that.
said to you,
Cool.
no, wait there, Saeed. I said to you, injuries have played a massive impact as to why we've not been playing consistently well. The receipts are there. Now, if something's
Yeah,
wrong
but
with
not
that
every
statement,
team.
That is the
It's not
most
the
milk
statement, can you tell
toast.
me?
That is the most conservative, obvious statement there is. You have to
thank you very
explain
much.
why.
So why are these men getting upset then?
No, because you're
It's
using
so
it as an
obvious, but
excuse
these men have denied
to
it.
and
Why are you
completely
upset?
ignoring Ten Hag's
Exactly.
inability to
Let me-
coach
let me-
when
It's not
healthy as well.
No, it's not ignoring.
You know why? You know why, Leji? You know why? You know why, Leji? Shall I tell you why? Leji, let me land. You know why we do that? Because you use it as the full excuse.
No, I
When
don't. No,
we've
no.
seen
Don't
there's
lie.
evidence.
Don't lie.
No, no,
My
hold-
receipts,
let
you
me
know what?
land.
I'm not going to
Let
argue.
me
My
land.
receipts are there.
Let me
My
land. If you're
receipts
not
are
gonna
there.
hear
If
the
anything
man.
else,
Saeed,
my receipts are there.
you say certain injuries, right? Yeah, prevent the team from playing the way, let's say, Ten Hag wants to play.
Again, I'm just going to correct you again, Saeed. Consistently. You said, I want to see
cool,
Wait there, no.
Okay,
Receipts
cool.
are there, so we don't have, none of us have to lie.
Okay.
None of us have to lie.
Can I rebuttal that? Does every team play consistently without injuries well in the Premier League? Can everyone agree with that? Nobody plays well consistently
No one.
with injuries.
Not during a
Nobody.
rebuild, no. Not during a rebuild, no.
How long
Why
is
is
it?
that
Deserby,
not
Man.
Brighton,
Because
literally
talking
Brighton.
Manchester United, is that not
Brighton,
right? We're not talking
Tottenham
Man United in their
Hotspur.
specific
Wait, what was
situation,
the
no?
What's the
what's the
clarify-
question?
Aston Villa have had key injuries this season as well. So
What's
I'm
the
just going to say
question?
to you, yes, he's trying to say basically that injuries, when you have certain injuries in your team, yeah, you don't play the way that Ten Hag wants to play consistently. I said, cool, that's fair enough.
No, you didn't.
not
This
any
is the
team
point where I said, no, you never. Why you let the receipts in there, Saeed?
Bro,
You
that's where I want to say.
You said, bro, I want to see consistent style of football. And I asked you a question. I said, why do you expect to see consistent style of football when the key players aren't there?
No,
You acting like that entertained.
don't please
The
don't do this.
receipts are
Don't do
there,
this.
Bridget.
No,
What are we doing?
I said the manager, when we have injuries, I said the manager has to find solutions
No,
like other
that's
managers
a
have done
different
before.
conversation. We're not doing this. You know
Bro,
what?
I've
I'm not
said
even
that.
lying. I know you
It's
need
the
to
same
lie.
conversation. It's the same conversation.
No, it's not.
It
The
is
receipts
true.
are there,
I said
brethren.
the injuries
This
can't
is
be an excuse
wild.
when I've seen. Hold on a minute, man. I said injuries can't be an excuse when we've seen other managers find solutions to these injuries and keep and maintain their style of play. I've said that from day one, and I haven't seen that to a large extent with Eric Ten Hag. That's why a lot of
Crazy.
people have been
Wait, Saeed, Saeed, could I ask him, Naji, what do you hold Ten Hag accountable for? Is there anything you like? You say
many
yes.
things. I got hella receipts. Just go watch the show.
Like what are some of those things?
Well, again, like I said earlier, the first biggest thing I made was to give me the biggest prediction that I told you.
Not recruitment wise, like actually in game, his coaching.
I'm just trying. You've asked me a question. I'm trying to answer. Do you want to hear?
No, but I'm changing my question just so I can specifically understand in game coaching.
Question. Do you want to hear it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the many things I said, which was the biggest prediction I had, was that he prioritized incorrectly for one, and he's also gone against his principles from the first season that he should have done. To me, it gave a massive. To me, it was like he went. What did I say? 3 steps back to go 5 steps forward, when really he should have just taken one small step forward and built on what he built in the first season. I've also criticized his man management. I've criticized his positional poor play of certain players in out of position. I've criticized certain players he started. Again, see, you shake your head, bro. You shake your head like there's no receipts.
Most of what you say,
this is what makes me laugh. Like you got confidence.
No.
Have receipts. This is why I talk how I talk, bro. Because my receipts.
No, like tactically, do you don't like fault his press or his midfield or the way he runs the game? Like
I don't fault anyone's style and tactics what they want. If this is what you want to do, cool. What I do fault is though when you don't have your profiles, okay, cool, but then you should switch back and turn it up. Because for me personally, and again the receipts will tell you, I've gone results over performances at this stage in the first 2 seasons. So you find a way to go and get results. You don't sit there and have one man like Kobe Mino who then don't get to play, and then you leave gaps in your midfield when you've got profiles on the pitch that you're available.
Wait, did you say results over performances?
Say again?
Did you say results over performances?
Yeah. In the first 2 seasons, results over performance is the most important at this time because it
I completely disagree. I completely disagree.
But you asked me a question, so I'll just give
Crazy,
you that thing.
man.
You asked me a question.
Anyway, listen.
So for me
we're gonna wrap it up.
specifically,
We need to wrap it up anyway. We need to wrap it up anyway, man.
go on.
Nah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Listen, people,
mate.
this is crazy. We're gonna wrap it up there, guys. Everyone give their predictions. I'm gonna go for Liverpool to win 3-1. Andrew, what are you going for?
Is there a replay for the draw?
No, extra time.
Extra time penalties?
Penalties, yeah.
Yeah, I think penalties and Onana the hero.
Oh, God forbid we go to penalties.
Okay.
God forbid.
Kaz, what are you saying?
Oh, predictions. Inshallah, man.
Okay, cool.
What does that mean?
It means inshallah.
Just praying?
That means
You're going to pray?
praying, yeah. Just
basically.
pray for a win. Pray for a win. Zis, what are you saying?
I think Assan's around that time, isn't it, Saeed? Yeah, man. We've got focus on prayer.
Yeah.
If we play like we did against City, 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah. Michael, what are you telling me? Prediction.
2-1 United. 2-1 United.
2-1 United. Neji, give me a prediction.
I've gone 2-1 Liverpool, whether that extra time or 90.
Okay, cool. Big up to everyone who's locked in. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let me just check the like count right now. We're currently on 396 likes. If everyone can get it to 500 likes, that would be amazing. Make sure you follow up Ange. Make sure you follow up Never a Foul. Kaz. Make sure you follow up Neji. Big up Neji. Big up to Griggs Talks. His channel will be in the link. And also this. Make sure you follow him on TikTok as well, man. Very, very good debut. Let people know give him out of 10 his debut today on the channel. Yeah, hopefully we'll bring him on the debate show because listen, you might have dealt with Neji today. Wait till you deal with Marcel next week. Marcel, I'm gonna bring you Marcel. But listen, people, make sure you like the video. I'll be back tomorrow maybe with a video. If not, I'll see you Sunday. I'll be there Sunday. Come on, United. Take care. Bye bye.